Hello everyone, welcome. It's another Sunday, it's another Dropped Frames. This week we are joined by the one, the only, Dan Esquire Gaming. How's it going, Dan?
Fantastic. How are you gentlemen doing this fine Sunday?
Can't speak for the other two. I'm doing well. Zeke, you well? Co, you well?
I'm doing great.
Okay, great. You guys get all your cold plunges in? Are you up on the memes? Okay,
Oh, the
Co and
ice,
Zeke.
ice bowl of
Zeke
ice
is.
butter?
Yeah, you got your bananas to rub the peels
Oh
on
my
your
God.
skin.
Dan, do you have any idea what that
I'm very lost right now. I don't know what's happening.
Good. I'm not the only one.
All right. Yeah, we'll catch you old guys
All I
up.
know about it is there's a very buff gentleman who dunks his face in ice water and just sprints.
Yep.
And it's like a meme now.
Yep.
And that sounds terrible.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's waking up at 3:52 a.m. That's right.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
It's very important. It's very important to know your modern day memes.
Know your memes.
Yeah. This week
You know who else wakes up at 3:15 a.m.? My mother and my grandmother did.
and Co.
Like, they go to bed
I have
at, like,
3 small
7
kids,
p.m.
man.
They wake up
Yes.
that early?
Sometimes.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, if
Yeah.
one of them has, a night, then
Yeah.
everyone's up.
Yeah, that's too early for me, Zeke. It's too early for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Dan,
about the time I go to bed, honestly.
yeah. If I had all the choice in the world, I would do that as well. I would do that
Yeah.
as well.
I only see that time if I'm already awake. Other than that, never.
Yeah. I'm never up that early.
Or if I make a mistake and like book a plane thinking, man, I'll take an early flight. It'll be so easy to get home early. No.
Those never feel good to do. The early
Nope.
flights out, always a bad decision. Don't do it.
Yeah.
It's not smart. You're gonna feel terrible. Just just take the day off. Just fly and take the day off. That's our advice. Take the day off. Official decree from Drop Frames.
Now, hold on. I keep interrupting. I'm so sorry.
No.
but,
It's a thing. It's been
You
7 years.
brought
of
it
this.
up with the ice bowl and that, but I don't know the bananas. Does he just eat bananas?
No, he
I
rubs
missed
the
that part.
banana peels on his face.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why. I don't know the health reason for that. I don't know if there's essential oils in the banana peels or what.
Now, are we talking
Okay.
about Donkey Kong? Like, is this like a Donkey Kong meme?
No.
Seems like-
No. He might be as
I was
buff
thinking more
as
of a
Donkey
Mario
Kong.
Kart thing.
He's
Yeah.
definitely as buff as Donkey Kong. But yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
what the banana thing is. Oh, he eats a banana and then rubs the peel on his face. There you go.
Sure.
Now you all know.
I mean, I do that too, but not for any particular reason.
That's just a Sunday morning good time for
Yeah.
Co. Yeah.
Good for the potassium levels.
Exactly. All right, Zeke. Can I take it away?
Go. I'm sorry. I will not interrupt you anymore.
It's been a busy week for video games. Well, one video game in particular, Assassin's Creed Shadows, came out
Oh my God.
after much hoopla. Let's go with that. That's probably the biggest news of the week. They came out, I think, yesterday morning and said that it had crossed 2 million players. They were very, I guess, they said players twice. They didn't say sold. They didn't say units sold. It was always 2 million, 1 million players. Probably because of the Ubisoft Plus thing that you can buy into for like $16 or whatever and get access to all the Ubisoft titles, including AC Shadows. But that's doesn't necessarily translate into one-to-one sales for a $70 game. But numbers are, I think, they said something along the lines of bigger than Odyssey and Origins. They didn't mention Valhalla. I think Valhalla was
They
like
said it's
Perfect
on the
Storm.
way to be the biggest Assassin's Creed release.
Okay, got it. Yeah, Valhalla came out during COVID or like COVID times-ish. So I think that it's going to be hard to beat. But doing well.
Yeah, I managed to make everyone angry with what I did with ACS.
Oh,
Nobody's happy.
How did you do that? What did you do?
So I went into Assassin's Creed Shadows, as a lukewarm Assassin's Creed fan. And I went in specifically, I didn't do any sponsor streaming. Ubisoft has given up on me. They didn't even offer me a sponsor stream for it.
Okay.
And I went in for myself and I said, okay, I want to see if this game is enough for me as somebody who is relatively tired of the AC franchise. I want to see if there was enough in there to bring me back. You know, maybe it's going to be another Black Flag. Maybe it'll get me back into Assassin's Creed. So I played it for a stream, and it was okay. I didn't really feel like I'd gotten to like the cool part yet. I was just starting to get like the ninja tools and just got a Kurusagama. So I was like, you know, it's fine. It's okay. And I said that at the end of the stream. It's fine. I'm okay with it. And then the next day, I started another stream of it, and about halfway through it, you know, I felt like I was starting to get the vibe of it, and I was starting to realize that I didn't think it was really going to have what I wanted. Also, like for me, the voice acting was a little rough, especially with the facial animations. Like there was enough in it to where it was like, yeah, this game's fine. But I also found out that the Rise of the Ronin port that I thought was garbage, I had been told that it was like completely unoptimized, it just wasn't working. I found out that it was actually in a lot better state than I thought, especially for people that had high-end computers. And then at that point, I was like, well, shit, I think I'd rather play that. And I turned off Assassin's Creed and started playing Rise of the Ronin. Now, what I did was I made a thoughts video. I said in that thoughts video,
well, that was your problem. How
here's
dare
the deal.
you have an opinion on
I was
the
like, here's the
internet?
deal. I was like, the game is fine. It's not doing enough for me. Like, you know, it's got a few problems here and there. I ran into a few bugs. Game is fine, but it did not pull me back in. And you know, there's a whole other discussion, like, can Ubisoft afford fine the gamers like me right now? And that's a discussion we can get into later. But you know, I was like, yeah, the game's okay, game's fine, but it's not fine enough for me to want to play. I'm going to play Rise of the Ronin. I made a comment that I had not really been following the controversy with the historical stuff, but like, I didn't really care personally. That doesn't really affect me. So, you know, whatever. I heard Ubi had made like maybe a claim about it, but I didn't really know too much. And I was like, okay, I'm going to move on, and that's done.
Okay.
That managed to make every side angry. The people that like Assassin's Creed were yelling at me for not giving it a good enough thing of being a hater. The other side was telling me, like, how dare you take a lukewarm stance on this? You need to pick a side. It's not fine what Ubisoft is doing. This is garbage. And so they all got furious at me. Then there was a third group that was apparently, I said in the video, like, I'm not really sure what's going on, but I heard about the historical controversy. One thing I didn't know about the historical controversy was apparently, like, Ubisoft really came out saying, we're going to try to make this historically accurate. So kind of like with the PoE devs we talked about in the past, like sometimes say like you should have just not said that and just done your own thing because then you set expectations. Like that's what happened there. And I definitely did not realize it was to that degree. I looked into it a little bit more after seeing some of the comments on the video, and yeah, Ubi probably shouldn't have said any of that. Like they kind of really shot themselves in the foot, like trying to do this historical angle, because all they did was set expectations that they're not gonna be able to meet. Even with the canon mode, you're gonna piss people off.
Yeah.
So yeah. So anyway, that's that. So in one, by trying this game and then kind of like just being like, here's my honest opinion on it, I have made the entire internet angry.
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens sometimes if you're on the fence and you fall off, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is like, here's
you perceive to be falling off the fence. That's maybe
here's
better
the
way
big
to say
thing
it.
though. Here's the big thing. Like, and people keep telling me like, pick a side, right? Like, why are you being so diplomatic? All of this stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think people understand. I'm like one of the only streamers that didn't do a sponsor stream for it. Like they've already given up on me. I have no reason to appease anyone. I have no reason to pick a side. If I wanted to pick a side, I'd pick a side. But the point is that it is a fine game. It ran well. It's very pretty. Everything it was trying to do, it does. Like, you can't look at the game and not be like, it's running. Like, I played 10,000 plus games over my life. There's some really shitty games out there. Like, broken design, does not work. Maybe it's just too long. Maybe, you know, like there's thousands of reasons that games are just not good. And the time I played this, I didn't really run into anything that makes me go, this is a bad game, outside of a few bugs, of course. I just didn't really run into anything that was like, I need to keep playing this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like people who are just like totally jumping on me for saying the game is fine. It's like, I don't really understand when you see a game like this, you know, there's probably thousands of people who made it possible, from level designers, artists, sound engineers, like musicians, all these people. Like, I would argue most of them did a fine job with this game. Like, of course, there's some decisions at the top and monetization, all sorts of problems, and, you know, that we could get into. But it's really weird to me how much people want others to not pass on the game. but to actively hate the game.
Sure, yeah.
Like
yeah.
they're not happy unless you feel negatively about everything the product is. Not just a part of it, not a specific thing. They don't want to have a discussion about what can be better. They just want you to feel the way they do, and that's their goal. And that's unfortunate, man.
Yeah,
That's
I mean that's the state.
I mean, this is coming from somebody who didn't even who put the game down. And I'm still just like, it's unfortunate that we can't like vocally talk about why we don't like it instead of just vocally hate it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like that would make things move so much in a better direction, because this isn't it, man.
Yeah,
Like,
it's just
it's unstoppable force meets a movable object.
yeah.
You know? Like, neither of them are going to change at doing this stuff.
It's kind of the modern internet in a nutshell, to steal from Chad. I agree with the statement.
Yeah.
You gotta. It's hard to be in the middle on all this stuff because people want
Dude.
opinions. They want sides. You gotta be.
And the worst part
extreme.
is, the older I get, the more I realize how insanely important it is to listen to both sides and come up with your own opinion. And the more you do that, the more you realize that most of the time, both sides are wrong. Like, most of the time, both sides have like some major fundamental issues in some degree that you may agree or not agree with. And you don't want to like wholesale out on each one of them. Like,
Yeah.
there's so much more nuance than people give this stuff credit for. And it's really unfortunate how many people want to stomp that nuance out.
It's exhausting nowadays. Just talking about not just games but anything. Like, you have to be vehemently for it or vehemently hating it. There's no room for anything in the middle. Everything from politics to food to movies to just like, there's no middle anymore. Everyone's sensationalism. They want to like you to either rave about a game or just trash it down. No walk in the middle of the road. No like slightly liking something. No like saying something's not for you. You just have to like be passionate about it because they want that like that dopamine hit from people, like getting them either angry or super excited
Or
It's just
agreeing
like,
with them, or reinforcing their opinion. Being
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I am right in how I feel about this. And the worst part is, all the discussion, all the really interesting stuff, all the stuff that could make these games better, all of that takes place in the middle when those sides are talking to each other. Like, that's where the discussion is. The discussion doesn't happen with each side yelling at each other from their side. Like, it happens when people come together and are like, okay, I understand you don't like it. Why don't you like it? Well, I like it because of this. You don't like it because of that. Let's talk about how we can get better. What can change? You know, like, so they're shooting themselves in the foot by doing that. Like, we're just going to keep doing this cycle. Like,
Yeah.
and it sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks. Hate it.
I do feel there is I would say, larger side of almost like this game can be fit into the same box that like Call of Duty is in terms of its cyclical release. Because like, this game's not all that different from other Assassin's Creed. It's still Assassin's Creed at the you know, in its base. You're still stabbing dudes. You're still, you know, ranking up gear. You're still going and taking over a castle and killing all the bosses at the castle. Then you go up and you climb to the top of that thing. But there's like a huge group of people that just buy it because they want that experience, and then they'll never engage in everything we were just talking about. And that's where I want to live. But unfortunately, that's not really good for the job because that exists far outside of everything that we take part in, from Twitch to social media and all that. Those are just the quote unquote normies. Yeah, it's like the FIFA guys or the Call of Duty guys or whatever cyclical release you want. That's what I would want to live in, but it's tough. This in a lot of ways I kind of consider my Call of Duty, because like I'm in almost every single time, but I can't be like, yeah, they really changed the game on this one. No,
I'm the exact same way with Yakuza.
Yeah.
Like some you know, there's and it's interesting because like this has brought up a whole side of like how when is it not okay for a game this expensive with this many resources to be okay for a lot of people, and that is like the other side of the argument where games like, what about Borderlands, where it's like if they were to change too much Borderlands, people would stop playing it.
Wouldn't be Borderlands, yeah.
Exactly. And there's also people about Assassin's Creed that are raving about this game being exactly how it is. So it's like, you know, for someone like me who is going, this is not enough at all, you know, what about the other side where it's like people are like, yeah, but don't change it any more than it is. It's like, where do we go from there?
Yeah.
How do you make all those groups happy? It's an impossible like task for some of these devs to please all these groups that want it to be changed or not changed, or changed in one way but not another. Like it's rough nowadays.
Yeah, yeah. It's rough to be a
There are
fan of
definite
things
times
sometimes.
when I miss those days of blissful ignorance when you were just, you looked at a box art and you were like, that looks like a game I would like. And you take it home and you enjoy it, or you don't, or you rent it. Remember renting?
Oh,
yeah.
Blockbuster.
You'd rent it and be like,
Yeah.
all right, I spent, a weekend with this game and I didn't like it. You can have it back. Or, I spent a weekend with this game and I'm going to re-rent it until I beat it, you know? And, like, we don't have that luxury anymore of like being blissfully ignorant of what other people think of the game that you like or dislike,
Mhm.
I remember like throughout my time on Twitch, like I'll play a game or we'll reminisce about a game, be like, man, I really loved that game. That game was great. And then 90% of the audience is like, are you fucking out of your mind? That shit was terrible. You are stupid and you should feel bad. I'm like, oh no.
What are you, a
Why?
Dreamcast shill? What is this?
Yeah.
And then you see that one word in chat. Oh, that was unfollowed.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfollowed.
Unfollowed. The unironic unfollowed. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfollowed.
Unfollowed. Yeah.
I'm done with this.
Yeah.
Done with this man and his opinions.
Yep. So, Ko, how many hours did you put into it? Because I'm trying to gauge.
Let's say stream and a half. About 6-ish hours. I never got to Yasuke.
Okay, yeah. So that is, I think, a thing worth talking about. Not the fact that he's in the game, the fact that like he's so
Days
different.
Gone it.
Well, he's so different from like Naue in terms of gameplay. He's almost like a cheat code because you just swap to him when you need to do a fight, and the fight is like 10x easier. It's still fun because they made all of his like actions and animations there's one where if you have a Nagitana, which is like a giant polearm,
Naginata.
where he stabs a guy in the chest, backs up, cuts off one arm, cuts off the other arm, and then cuts the guy's head off. And you're just like, yes. You just like, and then there's one if you get like the hammer where he just like slams it into the guy's chest and then walks over and just steps on the guy's head. And you're just like, this is fucking, let's go. Like Mortal Kombat entered Assassin's Creed with him, and it feels really fun to just go and decimate everyone. But also a little bit strange because then you swap back to Naue and you have like two daggers and you're like, ping, 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 ping.
Don't hit me, don't hit me.
Yeah, just doing like very little damage.
Right before I quit, I discovered the blood Tonto though, and that made
Oh,
things
that thing's
significantly
sick.
easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of awesome.
Yeah. They went a fun direction when it comes to like the blood splatter and all that stuff. Where if you're in a house or in anything inside and you just start like destroying someone, the blood just goes all over the walls, and it's really not something they've done before, but it's really fun to see that as a reaction to hitting like RB on the controller. Just a guy explodes. It's a good feeling. So I think you might have enjoyed it more had you gotten to him, but it takes like 10 hours to like actually unlock him, which is kind of strange.
Yeah. The big problem for me is like it was a bit hard of a comparison because the combat system in AC is always been relatively simplistic, and especially when I found out that Ronin was playable, and I started thinking about it, like I strongly prefer the deeper combat system of Rise. Strongly, like it's far more engaging to me. By the end of my Assassin's Creed thing, I felt like I was starting to get in a routine already, like in 6 hours of exactly how I was taking the areas and stuff. And granted, I had a lot of tools and stuff to unlock still. But it just didn't quite feel the same. Yeah. But again, maybe it's, I didn't get to the big heavy hitting guy, and that was definitely a bit on the hardest difficulty, especially. There's some pretty spongy enemies for the girl at the beginning.
Yeah.
Kind of surprised I didn't give the player Yasuke a little bit earlier. It would have been, I feel like, a lot better.
Same. He's pretty late in the story. It took me, while I didn't mainline the story, it took me like 10 hours. Dan, was that about similar for you to see Yasuke's?
While doing side stuff here and there. Yeah, it was about 10, 12 hours.
Yeah. That's also maybe another thing we can jump to. You said side stuff. I kind of have a hard time discerning what is side stuff and what is like the quote unquote main story in this game. I don't know if that's a
Main
bad
story
thing.
base building is the main story. Everything else is secondary.
Yeah, you're
The
just
base building's pretty cool.
you're into the
Yeah.
base story. The base building, yeah. What level is your base, Dan? What are you up to?
You just hit 5, but
Okay, that's where I'm at.
going out getting those resources. It gives me reason to clear those forts. I need those resources to build
Yeah,
and up.
you got to send the scouts out there to get all the extra resources, and
Mhm.
then you can put like 100 macaws in your base. Just have a bunch of monkeys running around
Or kittens.
or
Just
kittens.
all-
I had
And
mine was baby pigs, little mini babies.
Oh, I haven't
Oh,
found the baby pig yet. I didn't.
So good.
I didn't
so
find
good.
the baby pig. Yeah.
He's so cute. You can pet him and everything.
Huh.
Like the best part of the game.
I know that. What else? There was something else I got. It wasn't a bear. Are bears in the game? Did you find a bear yet, Dan? Can you fight bears?
Does Japan have bears?
There's
jungle.
Japanese
I don't know.
black bears. Yeah, we
Black
were
bears?
talking about it in stream yesterday, but I don't know if there's bears in the game.
I haven't seen one yet.
Okay. Maybe they're in one of the western sides of the map. But yeah, going back to the like MSQ stuff, how are you approaching the game, Dan? Like, what do you do when you're like, all right, let's tackle some stuff? Are you opening up the like giant bounty board and just going for an assassination? Are you going to like a castle and doing that, or how do you approach it?
I have been trying to focus on the main quest as much as possible, and then doing side stuff around it. So if I'm like, the objective's here, but there's like a fort there, and I can level enough high, I'll do that. If there's like a little camp with resources, I'll clear that as well. But I'm not trying to do too much side stuff because the Ubisoft games can be just overwhelming with
Yes.
their the stuff to do in the open world if you do too much of it. Just a laundry list of things and to check out. But I've been trying to focus on main quest.
Yeah.
I think I've killed about 5 of the 12
Center guys.
center guys. Yeah,
Yeah.
roughly.
Yeah. I think I started
So
to
you're,
realize. Oh, go ahead.
You're an on the way gamer. Like if it's on the way, I'll stop by. You know, if it's like I'm not gonna go, 3 miles east. But if it's like a short detour on the way to the main story, like I'll stop and kill these guys. I guess I could kill. How about you? How do you
I
feel?
could kill.
Yeah.
I could kill.
These guys standing here, I might as well just kill them all and take all their stuff.
I mean, might as well. I just killed a bunch there, but you know what? I could kill a little more.
The game's like kind of devious in that regard, Zeke, because they always put stuff between you and wherever you want to go. Even if it's just like 3 dudes that are walking towards you, the second it's like press RB to assassinate him comes up. It's like, gotta press it.
I better. Yeah.
I better kill these 3 guys. They might kill some. I don't know. Maybe they got, who knows? I need to press that button. Yeah, that's how I've kind of approached it as well. Is just like, I'm going to go to point A from point where I'm at, and then we'll just do everything on the way. And that's like 25 hours now, and I don't feel like I'm anywhere. Like, I have no idea of what the completion rate is of the game. I don't even know if they have anything like that in game, but I feel I'm barely anywhere in it. Maybe even like level 25 is a way to judge it. I think that's where I'm level 26, level 25. Doesn't feel like I'm very big in the game.
Locking perks behind knowledge points makes it so you kind of have to engage with the world a lot if you want to get those perks, because a lot of those are locked behind side activities and all the orange things on the map.
Yeah, and that is a rather significant change this time around, is the whole like knowledge point system, where you have to, like Dan said, you have to go and find things, find shrines, do like little side quests, go and find 3 lost pages or something at a temple or whatever. Then you get a knowledge point. As you accrue those, it locks the next like set of talents, to which is there 6 talent trees for each person?
Yep.
I think,
6.
yeah, and they're pretty
Buttons
lengthy.
and skills, yeah.
Yeah, and I think there's 6 knowledge stages as well. Those are all like different weapon types, which all have their own talent trees, and then like the base, like samurai tree and shinobi tree and all that stuff. But Yeah, Ko, how were you approaching the story when you were playing? Was it trying to kill the people in the center of that giant screen, or like what? How did you do that?
That stuff was kind of still unlocking by the time that I
Okay.
stopped. I was being an on the way gamer, as Zeke has coined. So I was kind of doing stuff that was just, on the way to the main story. I was trying to stick mostly to the main story, but yeah, it was just kind of doing things on the way. It's honestly one of the things when I started to run out of steam a little bit, it was when I realized that the on the way stuff was I was starting to get the structure down.
Yeah.
Of like what the on the way stuff was, and again, it was just it was starting to feel very repetitive. Like I'd done it before,
Sure.
like in this setting and everything. So
Yeah.
that's kind of where I was hoping it would be a little bit more interesting. Was that stuff, and it just kind of wasn't.
Yeah. Formulaic, because I think it's definitely the Assassin's Creed formula. Giant open world, tons of people to kill, tons of activities which are just, I say copy and paste, and I think most people will hear that and be like, oh, that's such a negative thing. But for me, it's like, oh, I love doing these type of things. So the activities are very similar across the board.
It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, and people can fall on both sides of it, 100%.
Yeah.
And then I think I realized like yesterday, and Dan, you might be in a similar situation too. That board that shows like the 12 central people, there's like 15 other smaller boards on it of like, go kill these 10 dudes. And then when you kill those 10 dudes, it'll progress this guy's quest. And then that guy's quest will unlock one of the main 12 dudes. And like, it really just starts to go to so many different boards within one massive board. And you start to realize how big the game is. I saw someone like finish the game around 60-ish hours last night. So seems like it's not as big as Valhalla, but it is quite big. I didn't finish Valhalla. Dan, did you happen to finish that one?
I did. That was a mess. It took like 130 hours to do the main quest in that
Yeah.
one.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was long.
And then I think it was even longer than that with all the DLC, right? Like when you...
Yeah, DLC and then side stuff. I didn't even do all the side stuff.
Yeah. That was a very, very long game. So it's definitely smaller than that. But still, if you're looking for the Assassin's Creed stuff, it's still there. The other big, I guess, improvements to the game this time around, graphics. Ko, you mentioned the graphics. This game's gorgeous.
Game's beautiful.
It
No
has
question.
a ton of moments where I'm pretty happy that they still do the silly climb to the top of this tower, because when they zoom out and you get to see the whole world, you're just like,
Yeah.
it's pretty impressive. It's a very good looking game.
You
And
definitely feel the inspiration from Ghost of Tsushima too. They definitely looked at that game and tried to figure out how they could incorporate that atmosphere into their game. They did a pretty
100%.
good job with the world. It just definitely has that same vibe when you're playing it.
Yep.
Just the like majestic, everything blowing in the wind, the leaves blowing,
Very
all
artistic.
that stuff. Very, very like Ghost.
Yeah. I'm bigly into the graphics of the game, and also the seasonal stuff. A lot of games always tout the like seasonal thing is revolutionary and game changing, blah blah blah. It actually does kind of change the game. Like when you're running through the snow and it's deeper, you run slower, or if you run onto like a frozen pond, you start sliding everywhere. If it's raining out, you can't see as well. It's really foggy. Like it has some significant stuff to the game.
One thing though, I have to say that like this game definitely made me realize, and I don't know if it's just been this way and I hadn't really picked up on it as much, but dude, like especially for how much they charge for the product in the AAA, man, Ubisoft is way behind on the facial animations compared to other companies. Like way behind. Like the part that I played, like there were a few times when like the main character was screaming and like it looked like she was just having a conversation. Like it
does kind of have like
they're
glue face,
so
where it
muted.
doesn't.
Yeah.
They don't have like giant emotive faces. Yeah.
They don't have like sometimes at all. Like sometimes that like at one point one of them was crying and the only way you could tell is like she was slightly had her eyes closed. That was it. And it's just like, I don't know. It's weird when we have games like Horizon Forbidden West, a couple years ago, that are just so well done, and then we have, supposedly like the exact same level of quality, but it's like 10 years earlier in terms of how it looks. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just weird. Yeah. But one of the reasons I say it's so weird is because the rest of the game looks so good. It makes it stick out more. It seems like there's a quality discrepancy.
Sure. Yeah.
Does it have anything to do with the language you're playing in?
No, because apparently
Like
you
English
can play in
to Japanese
Japanese
or whatever?
Yeah, you can play in Japanese, but somebody told me, and I haven't confirmed this, but someone said if you play in Japanese, it's still English mouth movement.
Mouth movement. Okay.
And I need to get that
surprise me.
confirmed.
Yeah.
I need to get that confirmed, but yeah, apparently it's not. It sounds a lot better in Japanese, which I would, of course, it does, because I have to say it was very strange hearing so much broken English in that area. Like that was doing a weird thing to me as well. And this is not the only game that does it, but when you have like, there was a lot of times when it sounded like some of the voice actors were having like trouble saying the lines, like they were trying to be that immersive. And there's this weird dissonance when you're trying to shoot for immersiveness to have people like be from that area, but they don't sound like they live in that area, if that makes sense. Like that was doing some weird stuff to me at times.
Sure.
Like there was one NPC I talked to where it sounded like he wasn't even like it sounded like they were having trouble speaking English. And like even the words didn't really like make perfect sense. And it was kind of like, this is not immersing, you know, like I see what they're trying to do and they're trying to make, you know, keep it dialectical in English, but it didn't work for me. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't refute the
But again, in Japanese, it would have been perfect. So, and that's those kind of streamer problems, because I probably would have played it in Japanese if it was myself. So
yeah.
The English dub just as a whole has been very just.
It's all
middle
over
of
the
road.
place.
I've
feel.
heard,
yeah.
but it's not good. It's really just some characters are okay, but a lot of them are very flat or they don't have a lot of motion. It's just like, as Ko said, especially some in the early game, there's a lot of people that have trouble speaking like in English. It just comes off as weird. I don't know. I would expect much better.
Yeah.
Going from AC to Rise, like it's very clear that Team Ninja focused more on having it sound like more immersive dialogue. It's night and day. Like, which is kind of weird because they're both like in the same time and region ish. So it's like, it's two different takes on it. And Rise I prefer so much more.
Yeah. For me, the best like story stuff, both cutscenes and just the actual story presentation and all that, have been from Yasuke's story, like that deals with like a flashback sequence. Dan, I think you just did the same thing where basically you learn like how he got his name, because his name is not Yasuke. It's a chosen name.
His English actor is very good. He's one of the good voice actors.
Yeah.
His cutscenes have been great.
Yeah. What was that, Cope?
Rise is 250 years later, for the record. I just meant the same like general period. You know, you're running around with swords and weapons and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought his like little backstory quest was the, and I think that's main story, right, Dan? Like, again, I don't know how to know what's main story unless it's like the character that on the giant board. That's like the character story thing that you can do, but it doesn't necessarily say like this is main story. So it's a little weird, but that was my favorite thing thus far. All the cutscenes were cool. The like duel sequences were cool. Well, what's y'all's take on the music that kicks in every once in a while? That seems like it's yeah.
Just
I was not feeling the music.
That is a unanimous ugly face. Just
There's some really good music, and then there's some weird like trap music that just plays randomly during times, or like a mix of like 80s pop. I don't know.
And then and then it goes to hip hop a little bit later.
Yeah,
like
it's all over the place.
Yeah.
It was very dartboardy. It's very like, okay, let's see, what emotion should we go for this time? Let's do 70s rock. Okay, this time we'll do hip hop. Okay, like it didn't really like line. Like in the short time I played, I think we went through 3 completely different genres, and none of them really like were specific to the scene. They just felt like different. I don't know. It felt very kind of like, let's throw these all on the board and see what sticks kind of stuff.
Yeah, I got kind of like Kill Bill vibes from like that bridge fight sequence.
Near the beginning.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
I was like, this is kind of Tarantino-ish.
Yes, we actually said Tarantino a lot of times during that scene.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like a weird place for it, I guess. Like, because the rest of the game isn't anything like that. So I don't know. It was just a little, again, out like
I
weird.
agree with what one of my mods just said. Dark Harris said, I feel like they contracted a real Japanese band and told them to make folk music, and this is the insane shit that they came up with. Like, yeah, I kind of agree with that.
Okay.
It kind of comes out of nowhere whenever it starts to play, but it's given how like serious the tone is of everything, like, oh no, these guys are like on a bridge and it's a giant trap, and here's some like Japanese pop music almost, but not. I don't know. It's an interesting decision, I would say. That's maybe one where I'm just kind of like, huh, all right, I'm gonna go stabbing people again. Anyways.
Which is kind of unfortunate because you can tell they wanted us to be like, whoa, this is awesome. Like the point of it was to get like a big reaction.
Yeah.
But it didn't really do that at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It wasn't like a maze from Control kind of situation.
No, not at all. It didn't have that same vibe to it whatsoever. So yeah, they were probably going for that type of reaction to it. I would agree with you. Yeah, Dan, I've kind of been leading and saying all the different things I like about it. Anything that you're super excited by the game with, or alternatively not excited with?
Do you want me to give you my full thoughts, or should I summarize it for you?
Ha ha!
You're done. You're off the
it.
show after that. Please go ahead.
Dan's been here like 20 minutes. It's already completely worth it. I love it.
Please summarize it for me, Dan.
I'm gonna equate Assassin's Creed to food, because we all know food, right?
All right.
Assassin's Creed is like the McDouble. You know the McDouble isn't the best burger. You know you could probably get a better burger for even the same price as a McDouble. But you grew up on it. It's comfortable. You know what it is. You know there's better burgers out there. You know it's not good for you. It's made by a corporate system that doesn't care about the people that made it. They just want you to eat this burger. But you know what? You like the McDouble. It's not the best burger out there, but you like it because you grew up on it. It's comfortable. You're familiar with it. That's what Assassin's Creed is for me. Like, it's outside of Black Flag and maybe the second game, like, they've never been the best games, but they're like comfortable. They're like enjoyable to me. I've liked them, even though they're rather easy. They're not like super difficult. They're like, they make you feel like you're good at the game, even though they're not the hardest games in the world. But yeah, I just enjoy them. Like, they are what they are, and I have a good time playing with them. Even though I know there's better games, I know that it's not the best game in the world, but I just find it comfortable, and I find this to be one of the better ones of those games. And I've been having a good time with the switching between Naue, who's very stealth focused, and when I get tired of stealthing, I just switch to Yasuke and just murder the hell out of everyone, and it's amazing. And I'm really glad that they are doing less of the animus that like they did in the old games. Way less, because when I'm in the animus, I don't want to come out of it. I want to stay in there, and they keep pulling me out, and it's not good. Like, so I'm glad that they decided
Desmond.
to stay in there.
Well, yeah, they finished Desmond. Yeah,
I actually loved the Animus arc back like at the beginning. I thought it was super cool and like sci-fi. It kind of worked, and the apple was fun. Like I'm kind of sad it's become what it has.
Yeah,
I feel like it used to be really cool.
On it after 3, they spoiler, but they killed him off in 3, and then they just never kind of went back with it. It's kind of, there could have been so much more there. I've always wished they would just do a modern day Assassin's Creed with no animus, just like to try it out to see like if you're fighting the Templars, but in modern day city with modern day tech and stuff.
I think that was Watch Dogs.
Yeah, Watch Dogs might have been.
I think that was their test.
Might have been that test. Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
I
didn't mean to take the wind out of your sails there, because I agree. I think that like having like an actual modern day AC would be cool, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see if we ever get there.
Yeah,
I wonder if they would
had the
do
same
that.
exact thought. Like, what would that even look like? Would they just use?
You'd have
guns,
to use tech,
or
yeah.
would
You'd
it
have
be tech
to
related.
Like,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah, like you couldn't just ignore that stuff in that day and age, right? So
yeah, because like they're gonna have like a sniper rifle, right? Like if you're an assassin, how do you not have a sniper?
Well, it's
rifle,
interesting
right?
because like if you think about it, it's like what would an assassin in Assassin's Creed uses all the tools available, has tons of gadgets that other people don't have. Look at Watch Dogs, elite hacker using tons of gadgets other people don't have. Like, it's the same premise, just in a different time period.
Yeah. I would be interested in that as well, Dan.
My ideal game would be, and I don't trust them to do this, but they'd have to make 2 games. One is like in the Animus, and you have to go into the Animus to solve puzzles in the modern world, like to figure out where stuff is. Like you're in that location in the modern times, and you go into the Animus to get stuff from the past to figure out, like, and then vice versa. I'm kind of like chief, but I don't know if you could do that and make both games good, because they'd be so different from each other.
Yeah.
Okay, here's what you gotta do.
Game.
Post-apocalyptic AC. See, that way you could go like past all the gadgets.
The Templars won.
Yeah, exactly. Templars win.
They got the apple.
Nukes go off. Apple is used, and then like it's super futuristic, but takes place in like a dystopian world. So you can't use guns and stuff because all the bullets have already been shot. And they're not making more. Got to use melee weapons and stuff, but it's all futuristic and sci-fi. I'm there for it.
Maybe.
I'd actually play the hell out of that.
Yeah,
it could be cool.
Yeah. There's been a couple of like Animus sequences a little bit later in the game, but they haven't done the like you're walking around a modern time thing. That's not present. They've also tied in. So I'm gonna say something where a lot of people who haven't heard this are gonna be like, "Oh my god!" and they're gonna start. Hold down backspace. Take your hands off your keyboard. There's a battle pass in this game, but it is not.
Oh, sorry.
But it's not something that you don't buy the battle pass. Everyone gets access to the battle pass, and the battle pass never goes away. There are Animus things in the game where you basically go and like kill a person or kill a target or go to some area, and then you get the battle pass points to then apply to the battle pass, and those reset I think weekly. So they're still trying to do the thing where when the credits roll, there's still a reason to play, I guess, is to finish the quote unquote battle pass. Cause I think there's currently 2 in the game. And I think it's like 21 levels and I'm on like level 5 or something. I'm not very deep in it, but yeah, it's weird that like they're still trying to keep that Assassin's Creed thing where there's always something to come back to. I feel like they've been doing that ever since they put out was it Origins? Was that the first like new era of Assassin's Creed where they
almost
had these
live
like
servicey?
Yeah, it is almost live servicey. It very much is live servicey.
They went hard on that Valhalla. They really wanted you to like go back and play it, and it had like in-game events that were during real time, like days of the month and stuff.
Yeah.
With this game, they did something interesting where the main menu is like an Animus, and you can load into any of the other games, like from the menu, which was an interesting. I don't know, like if that's their plan is to have some sort of like hub that connects all Assassin's Creeds or something, but it definitely seemed like they're trying to push towards that at some point.
Right.
I will say the idea of them at one point releasing a game that like connected all the games, like you had to play them all inside that game to like get secret endings and stuff.
Might be kind of interesting.
Wild. Yeah. I mean, something like that hasn't really been done. I mean, that would be interesting. Be a lot. It'd be interesting.
Yeah. There has to be some sort of Animus tie-in though. Like given I don't even know the like big assassins, like when I say assassins, I mean like in the actual lore. I don't know what the assassin and Templar lore is in this game, even 20 hours in. They haven't, all that they said is like, oh, she has a hidden blade. And for some reason, Yasuke like knows what that is. And that's it. So I'm going to assume that there's some sort of tie-in later on in the game. I don't know how big it is, but they've done like a couple hints towards that. But yeah,
I know that Skill Up mentioned that all the best story stuff happens in the last 10% of the game.
They probably then tie it into
they probably tie
aliens
it in
and and all that stuff because they're like in the game opens and there's the mysterious MacGuffin, the box, right? And you're trying to get whatever's in the box. I don't know what's in the box. I'm still haven't divulged that yet. But it's probably some like alien artifact that can change the fate of the world, blah, 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 blah.
Wait. Okay. Somebody just said something in my chat. I never finished Valhalla. Can I say a Valhalla spoiler? I just need to confirm real quick.
Spoiler tags.
Just real quick, because I never. Okay. Somebody just said that at the end of Valhalla, you find out that Desmond didn't actually die. And
Something like that. Yeah.
Really?
I did not finish Valhalla as well because it was just too long. But
I definitely never got to that part. Interesting. I'm gonna look into that. I didn't realize they brought him back. Okay, anyway, I'm done. Sorry. that's complete news to me.
Yeah,
I didn't hear about that. It's like a ghost in the machine kind of thing now.
Yes, it's like his physical. Yes. Yeah. Yep.
Anyway, cool.
Look, when you really get down to like what is the lore of Assassin's Creed, it's something to the effect of like aliens basically took primates and evolved them to be humans.
And then gave them spicy apples.
Yeah, something like that.
Spicy.
Yeah, it's really weird. Well, it's not even aliens. It's like they're just an advanced race. Right? Yeah, the predecessors or something
or whatever.
It's a whole thing. Yeah, the first civilization. That's what it was. It's all like what? Like why? What are you talking about? This is. I thought you just killed people in historical times in this game. Yeah, the story's a little bit loose, I would say at this point. I can't comment on how it is. I feel like I'm barely even in it.
It has like moments where it's really good and moments where it's just sort of like this feels like a filler quest. It's hovering like between the two.
Yeah,
like certain parts are really good. Like Yasuke's training segment was very, very good, and when he's introduced as a playable character, the sequence right before that, like him battling and then the flashbacks there, that was also really good.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like moments where the writing becomes real solid and nice, but it's not constant because in a game this big, there's like a bunch of writers and certain writers are better than others, of course. But overall, it's a good enough that I'm interested. Where in a lot of Assassin's Creed, I kind of find myself zoning out if it's too long. Like Valhalla, like I just towards the end, I'm just sort of like just too much story.
It
too
was
many
so
names.
convoluted. Yeah,
just like it just started getting like toning out towards the end. But this one's actually making me like want to pay attention, which is fun.
Yeah. And there's also I mean this is true in all the other games as well, but for this one I recognize at least some of the names just from other media that I've watched, like Shogun or even games that I've played that have kind of touched on this era, which is cool. Like it's always fun when you're like, oh yeah, that was a real person, and then chat of course tells you all about that person, and yeah, that's fun. I like that type of stuff. And then of course Assassin's Creed kind of has their like little gamified twist on it where it's like, actually that guy's an alien or some shit. That guy could tell the future.
Did you make your character naked during this very important cutscene?
Yes, I did, and it is glorious, let me tell you, because everyone is very serious about this big old fight on the bridge, and then I show up and the party really begins. Here I go. Watch me just flip up onto the bridge, and it's so funny. Like the music kicks in and everything. It's just
Why is this naked here?
I even paused.
What kind of video are we watching here?
I even paused it and just started laughing because Yasuke's just like, "What up? This is my bridge, bitches." It was good.
No, you need to edit. You need to edit in a surprise, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's right. There we go.
Yeah. This stuff is cool though. Like this little bridge sequence and the story.
Could you please make just a 5-second GIF with what Zeke just suggested and just put it on Twitter with no context? Just going out of the bridge, surprise, motherfucker, and then just that's the whole GIF, no context. I will retweet the shit out of that.
Yeah.
For the record,
it'll be good. It'll be good. I'm wanting to see if it shows the animation where he cuts his arms off. It happens pretty frequently, but the game is just like, oh yeah, the kick. Oh god, you give me a kick like that. That's the best thing. You just kick people off ledges and bridges, and it always feels good. I don't understand like why every game doesn't have that.
Oh, so good.
It's the best thing. It's the best feeling thing to do in the game. The other abilities are kind of like, oh, I can spin my pole arm, but this one you just kick people off, and it feels really, really good. It doesn't do that much damage though.
I've been loving the long katana where he just constantly is chopping people's heads off, just over and over and over again, just chopping them off.
Yeah, a lot of head chopping for sure. That might be my rule, that they need to put a Sparta kick in every game, no matter what. It just makes the game better. If it's a 3D world, you need the Sparta kick, and it'll be
Like loot behind a waterfall, man. It only helps.
Yes, it only helps.
Only helps.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. What else is there that we can discuss? Have you found any fun bugs? Fun bugs being like things that are actually comical and not game ruining.
Did you see my clip?
No. What happened?
I had this
I
like
can find it.
sequence. It was on the top of live stream fails for a bit.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah, I had this clip where like I'm running up onto this area, and the first thing like I come across is a T-posing raccoon floating in midair. So he's just sitting there with like a cracked neck, like T-posing. And I just walk up and look at him like, oh, that's a little weird. And then I take like 15 steps forward into this area and like go into a building and look at the wall. It's like, oh, now the texture's loading. That's a little weird. And then I like walk out and there's two enemies and I kill one of the enemies. And then I look at the other and the other just stands there staring at me for like 10 seconds.
Huh.
I'm just like, that's a little weird. Just like, what the heck? Like, it's literally just boom, boom, boom. Just like, it was really strange. And then that was the end of that clip. But funny enough, I ran around that area and there was like a bunch of textures that didn't load. There were a bunch of enemies that the AI was just broken. Like they just stood there.
Really?
Yeah, I think what happened is I think I hit one bug and then it just like cascaded because I didn't see really any of those bugs the rest of the playthrough, which was a little bit weird. So I don't know if there's just like a sequence that can happen that then the whole game starts like falling apart. But yeah, so there's the T-posing raccoon, and I was just like, wow, that's a thing. And then like I'm like, okay, well, whatever, game's fine. And then I walk into this building up here you're about to see. And people got really confused. They thought I was talking about the white ghost that you're about to see, but look at the walls and the door.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
no
the
texture on
textures
it.
didn't load.
Texture's
Weird.
completely gone. So like I even walked over to the wall and I'm like, that's weird. Like there's no texture in here. Like it's literally all gone. I was like, huh, okay. So I was like, whatever, I'm sure it's fine. It'll load. And then if you see, I'll kill this dude here. And this dude I think he attacks me. No, he doesn't attack me.
Yeah,
so
just
he's
kinda,
bugged.
Yeah.
And then this guy, I was like, wait a second.
He didn't even have a weapon. Huh. It's like the game. Yeah, it's like the game didn't.
It's like it just shut down. Yeah, it's like things just stopped loading. I don't. It was very strange, and the whole area was weird. Like some enemies worked and some enemies didn't, and it was strange.
I saw this clip from Miss Mika, who was having T-posing animals, but they were deer and they moved.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh wow!
Like the deer.
People, look at him go! Look at him go! Jeez,
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
yeah. Then I think like the game stopped moving, or no, she might be in photo mode. But yeah, the deer are just, yeah.
It's horrifying.
Some weird
Backward
shit.
legs, dude. Oh my god.
Some weird shit. I had
Nightmare
a very interesting situation last night when I was playing. I think what happened was, for some reason, the game. So like I initiated a brutal takedown, which is just a takedown or an assassination, but I did this. And I think the game thought that my avatar was the enemy because I start to execute myself.
You found the hidden seppuku feature?
Yeah, it's really weird. I don't even know like how to. You just kind of have to see it. So I like bust out onto the stage here. And Yasuke, for some reason, screams, "Look at me!" And this is like a level 1 person that exists in these castles that their whole thing is to go and go and like grab other guards. And so I'm like,
Sound the
nope,
alarm,
nope, I'm gonna assassinate her. And so like, then I assassinate myself. But then her head flies off and I'm fine and I'm laughing. And so then it's like, all right, well, I guess I'm just gonna assassinate her or like finish the job. And the game's like, actually, you're gonna do that to yourself.
How does that even how does that happen?
How
does that happen?
I just like cut her head off a second time, but her head's not there. I was pretty happy
amazing.
with that one. I was like, all right, you can keep doing those type of bugs. I'll play that all day.
Some advanced ago.
That's just fucking absurd. But yeah.
So was that were they like on the ground like prostrating themselves before you with no head? Like,
yes.
Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me.
Yeah, because the animation happened to my character, but then it didn't register,
Yeah.
I guess, the NPC is being killed. And so she was like headless.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was weird.
That's amazing.
So seems like the open worldness jank that you've come to expect from Ubisoft is still present in more ways than one. I've never seen that type of bug in an AC game before, where the animations that you mean to incur on an NPC occur to yourself. It's kind of fun, I guess. It's kind of insane. What else? Anything else we need to discuss? We talked about the graphics, the audio, the music. I think that's kind of everything. Dan, you gotta finish it. You gotta go the distance.
I will finish the main story, but there's a lot of games coming out this week too,
Yes.
so it's busy. It's a busy time.
Yeah. I'm kind of in the same boat where there's so much stuff happening this week that it's like, yeah, I probably need another 30, 40 hours.
There's a game coming out tomorrow called Schedule 1 where you can run your own drug empire, and the demo was really fun, so I'll be playing that one.
I saw
too.
someone talking about that, saying it was like satisfactory for drug people.
You're gonna play Schedule 1 tomorrow?
I think it comes out tomorrow.
You're not gonna play Atomfall?
Oh, I'm gonna play Atomfall too. I just got to make
Okay.
make but
You got to
Both
do a
of
little drugs with your Atomfall, Co. Like,
Yeah, we have Atomfall and First Berserker tomorrow.
Yeah.
Berserker.
It's
on
a
the
pretty
list,
busy
too.
week for sure.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's our Assassin's Creed talk. There you go. Kind of got all sides of the conversation with that. It seems to be doing well. Like we said, they crossed 2 million players in the news as of yesterday morning. Kind of like for everything that we know, we being the public, kind of a make or break moment, I guess, for Ubisoft. Like, they haven't been doing that well financially, if everything we've heard of, and the layoffs have been pretty crazy recently. So, we'll see what happens. Hopefully everyone gets to stay employed. And I say that half joking, like people could potentially just lose their jobs if this game doesn't do well. They've done that before with other stuff. So we will see how it goes.
It's also important to mention there's lots of people that want to of course want to confirm their side with the numbers and information that are out right now. There's people that are screaming like, oh, look, Assassin's Creed is fine, look at these numbers. And then there's other groups that say, oh, look at the Steam charts, they're failing miserably. Here's the important thing that we need to understand, though, that everyone needs to understand. Nobody who says any of that has any idea what a success looks like to Ubisoft.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So like how much Ubisoft says they've raised means nothing. What's on the Steam chart means absolutely nothing. What matters is what Ubisoft has told their investors and how much the delta is between the actual and that. It's all that matters, and no one knows that. So anyone who's shouting like, oh, look at this, Ubisoft's gonna die, or oh, look at this, they're totally fine. None of them know what they're talking about. So like, we don't even know what 2 million players means.
Yeah.
I didn't say 2 million sales. So it's like, we don't, like, everything is obfuscated right now. So yeah, we all just kind of got to sit tight. It's probably going to take at least a couple weeks or even a couple months until we hear anything from Ubi, like actually if this is okay or not okay.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah. What I don't have the story open in front of me, but there was something along the lines this past week or this past month where there was a potentiality that they were thinking of selling off certain piecemeal things, IP wise, from Ubisoft, and working with other developers to see if they want to take any of that type of stuff. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Also, someone's bringing up a really good point in chat. It's like sales could mean nothing if the microtransactions sell well enough. And,
Totally,
and that's absolutely a reality. 100%. Yep.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's, you know, again, none of the public information now matters to any argument.
Yeah.
If you look into it.
Yeah. I saw the current rage bait around it is the fact that the credits on the game are legitimately 2 hours long. So if and the reason being is that like 2 hours worth of credits can make this game, but then 100 people can make some other game like that's terribly unorganized and
I mean,
potentially unbudgeted or budgeted poorly, blah blah blah. So
that's a really serious discussion
Yeah.
that they need to have. You know, like, are they to the point where there's too much bloat? You know, I mean, there's 100% something to be said about the amount of resources you put into a product and the end result and the quality of the product.
Yeah.
It gets to a point where it's like, maybe our product quality is not up to snuff for how much we're putting into it. Like that, you know, that's kind of wild. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see.
Bloat, man.
We'll see what happens with all of that. What else is going on in the world of news? I did see that the Game Developer Choice Awards, as well as GDC itself, though that's usually not necessarily anything to discuss because GDC is all like behind closed doors conversation. The awards happened. Balatro, I think, ended up winning Game of the Year from there, as well as a ton of other awards. The story that I saw come out of those awards, unfortunately, though, was that no one was around to collect the award for Life is Strange Double Exposure because of
Nobody even told
layoffs. Yeah, so there was no one to accept the award because of layoffs. So yeah, that's rough to hear about.
That's sad.
An award-winning game, and it's just like, yeah, no one even works on it anymore.
There was the layoffs because of it didn't sell well.
Yeah,
That's why.
yeah, it didn't sell well. Yeah, the ARK DLC trailer is apparently entirely made through generative AI. I guess
This is getting weird.
Okay,
Have you heard
yeah,
the stuff from this?
No, I'm reading the headline now, so please tell me.
So apparently the devs are saying they had nothing to do with it, and then Snail Games said they had nothing to do with it. So it's like now everyone's pointing at each other like, how the hell did this make it out of our company? So I'm not really sure what to think anymore. Like, who knows who's being truthful here?
Yeah, this is the trailer. It's the official GDC trailer 2025. The entire contents of the trailer, this is Insider Gaming reporting, entire contents of the trailer reveal nothing about the expansion. It's just a visual reel that shows janky AI characters exploring some kind of water-themed underworld. In one sequence, a character fires a harpoon gun, and it's so bizarre, it's a wonder this thing managed to pass muster at Snail Games.
Might want to take off the title.
Oh, yeah. No, this is Assassin's Creed right here.
And Ubisoft lawyers are calling you.
Yeah.
The only AI we use is in NFTs, you ass.
Oh, so this is the big tell. If you look at the feet on this diver, they look like flippers made out of skin.
What are those?
He's a goddamn ichthy demon from Waterworld.
And he also doesn't have hands. He just has like his arm is like a nub, and then it has like another nub attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Oh man,
It's a travesty, man. Actual travesty.
that's really sad.
Of sad.
Oh god. Yeah, so that's a thing that's out there. For the new ARK game. What else is going on? I wish we had Rami here.
No, hold on. Why would they use that? Just out of curiosity. Like what is
probably
the
I'll tell you why.
logic behind that?
I don't know.
A deadline is why. It's probably like a PR company found out they needed a trailer the night before GDC that they didn't think they actually needed. So they had to throw something together and get it to their boss by 12 p.m. and it was 10. So I'm pretty sure that's how something like that happens. And another thing is, like I said, like both the devs and apparently that and Snail, like the two big companies associated with it, both have said they have nothing to do with it. So it looks like it may have been done by just some PR offshoot kind of thing, trying to get something done in time. Now, one would then argue, how is your GDC trailer not prioritized, or why are you offloading that to a company you don't trust? You know, that's kind of on you, not them. But yeah, that's a different discussion.
Yeah. Consumer win. The Consumer Protection Cooperation Network in EU published a new thing about virtual currencies, and they have decreed it to be that the real world price must be displayed for an item, not just the currency. An example being that it has to have $24 next to it, not 2,800 V-bucks, and that the currencies must be exactly matchable to the purchase amounts. So there's no 1,000 point packages for 800 point items to leave 200 extra type deal. It's just one to one.
Is getting super out of control. Like this
Go
item
Europe,
would you
that's right.
buy like $5 will buy 400 crabs, but the thing costs 300 crabs, and you have to like you can't buy the package just to get 300, so you have to buy the 500, and you have a little bit left over, and it's that kind of stuff just getting ridiculous.
See, Dan,
Very expensive.
Yeah. It's actually, it's really confused. The $4 buys 500 crabs, but then you have to exchange that for 350 shellfish. But the shellfish is only worth what the shrimp are if it's Wednesday or Thursday, and it's only then that they get a 20% discount on the original price that makes it the 350 crab deal for the 150 shrimp.
Actually, you're
Wednesday,
all
Wednesday,
wrong.
Friday,
Right?
Wednesday, Friday.
Because
Wednesday, Friday.
it's not all
Thank you so much.
crustaceans or fish. There's primates in there. There's birds, elephants and the tigers. You got to factor in everything, really. There's no correlation to anything.
Very shellfish.
Very shellfish.
They are being very shellfish. Yeah. Keeping in mind, by the way, this is a guideline. This isn't law. This is a guideline. So developers, publishers will look at that and be like, thanks. Anyways, we'll see if they actually go and do any of that. Yeah.
By the way, super quick, I don't normally call out raids, but thank you, Lord Hans Capon, for the raid, and everyone for this channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you. That's the guy that plays Hans Capon in KCD2. He's awesome.
Nice.
Awesome. So big thanks for the raid, guys. Welcome to you. This is a talk show. We talk about streaming and news, and these guys are awesome, and he's our guest. He's great. You should go follow him. He's Dan. So yeah, everybody.
Luke's
welcome.
amazing. He has a
Luke's
great
amazing.
Follow
Nice.
him if you're not following him.
Fantastic.
Mods, if you didn't, please give him a shout out. Thank you. Anyway, sorry, we're good.
No, you're good. So that happened. Hopefully people follow that. What else? So here's another thing. I wish I actually knew a lot more about this, but 4 days ago, the Video Game Workers launched. Video Game Workers is, I think, an organization. They launched industry-wide union communications, Workers of America. With the Communications Workers of America. I completely jumbled that headline. But essentially, there's an industry-wide union now that's being formed to hopefully, help out devs. Their pitch was, today in a historic development for video game organizing, workers across the US and Canada are launching United Video Game Workers CWA Local 9433, a direct join industry-wide video game union with the Communication Workers of America in partnership with the American Federation of Musicians. So I'm sure that more and more people will hopefully be opting into that, and it'll be a big, big deal. We'll see. It's a good step for sure. And I wish we need like Rami here to really comment on this stuff. But I haven't spoken to Rami in a while. He's on the blues.
Things like that take usually at least a few weeks or months to kind of sort out. We also need to see if there's going to be any challenges or like all sorts of stuff. So it would probably be great to get him on in a couple months to talk about it. Yeah. If it's hopefully still around.
Yeah. Without question. Dan, did you play any Split Fiction, by the way?
No.
Okay. Ko hasn't played either. I'm just saying because we're
playing Matchmaker.
Yeah, I'm just playing Matchmaker for Split Fiction.
Hey, Dan, what you doing next weekend?
I don't know. What are you doing?
I'm going to Disney World, but maybe the weekend after that. Okay. I totally forgot.
The reason I bring it up is there was a hidden level. Did you know about this, Zeke? Did you see this story?
Dude.
Oh,
I
yeah.
heard about it. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
heard
But
about this.
Isn't it like really, really well hidden?
Yes, it's essentially a binary code on a billboard in one of the levels, and then you type in the binary code
I saw that.
at like an elevator thing, and it unlocks a very, very difficult side level. And the people that beat the side level first, I think the video still plays if you go do it now. It plays like a live action video of Joseph, the fuck the Oscars guy, the creative director or game director. And he's like, hey, thanks for doing this. We're going to invite you out to the studio to see our new game. Congratulations.
And they did.
Yeah. And then he invited him out. Yeah. On
That
Twitter, he
is so
confirmed it, which is awesome. It's really,
Freaking incredible, man.
really cool to see that stuff. Yeah.
He like flew him out and gave him like the whole world treatment. It was apparently amazing.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Really good
very,
stuff
very
for
cool.
that. What else happened? Co, let's talk Atomfall, because the review came out for that. You had 3 hours with it. It's one of the big, I would say bigger releases. Is this a AA game? Where do you classify this game, Co? What?
I'd say double A. It's a good
AA?
place. It's
Okay, yeah.
Rebellion, which is like Sniper Elite and stuff like that. So Sniper Elite games have
okay.
always been pretty, they're solid games. There's like a real niche audience that really loves them. Atomfall, for me, man, I spent 3 hours with it yesterday. Yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. I loved it. I mean, it feels kind of like Metro. A lot of people think it was going to be like a Fallout game. It's not a Fallout game. It's much more linear. It looks to be a little bit smaller in scope. The mechanics are much more streamlined. Kind of like Last of Us. Instead of going around and getting like tons of different items, you're going around and you're getting like amounts of items in capped sets. So you're getting like fabric, water, tape, stuff like that. And you can only hold like 10 or 15 or 20 of each one. So it's not like Fallout. We're just loading up an endless inventory and going to bank that stuff. You are relatively limited. On that other note, you only have an inventory that has like 15 slots, and then you have 4 big slots in your back for 2-hand weapons. And trading and bartering is actually done on a per item basis. So you don't have like some arbitrary currency that you sell for like 5 gold or 10 credits. When you trade with NPCs, you have to give them items on your character that then have a value at the top that goes back and forth, and then you have to line that up with whatever you want to get from them. So it makes it a little bit more interesting in terms of like, stockpiling items and how you're going to loot, which I was still figuring out at the end of my 3 hours. I'm not really sure the best way to loot in this game yet. I don't know if it's like Stalker, where you load yourself up with stuff and then you go to one of the, there's like a bank system. You just go drop all your stuff in a bank. Or if it's a kind of thing where the game doesn't want you to do that, where they just want you to like have a full inventory, manage keeping it full, and then whenever you get to a vendor, you just sell whatever you don't need. Lots and lots of side areas to explore, tons of loot everywhere. I did find a variety of weapons. I think four different range weapons and some throwables, as well as a bunch of different melee weapons. There is a skill system as well, but it seems rather rudimentary. I think maybe probably 27 skills in all, 36 skills in all, about that. 4 blocks of 9. And yeah, I had a great time. Fully voice acted, beautifully organic, immersive environment, but definitely felt like it's a little more about the journey and exploration and a little bit less about the mechanics and stuff. The combat itself felt a little basic. Like there's no block. The only thing you can do is like attack and power attack. And that felt really weird in Melee because like there's no dodge either. So I didn't know like how the game expects you to do Melee. Are you supposed to like stay right at the periphery of the enemy and like try to back up away from their attacks and swing between their attacks? Since there's no blocking, you can't really charge head in or you take a bunch of damage. So even by the end of the game, I was like, either I'm not really understanding Melee or I feel like it's not super well designed. Like one of those was adding up. But yeah, it felt really, really good. And at the end of my 3 hours, all I wanted to do was play significantly more. I've already talked to my wife like, hey, so can I get off dadding a couple nights this week so I can play Atomfall for like 10 hours a day? But yeah, this, to be fair and to be clear for anyone that doesn't know me, this type of game is my jam. This is one of my favorite types of games since like Deus Ex and Cyberpunk and that kind of thing. Immersive sim style, like RPG / immersive game. This is my bread and butter. So it's so far exactly what I'm looking for from it.
Yeah.
Did you feel
Did you get any sort of synopsis for this? Oh my God. I'm sorry, Dan. Please go. Dan.
I'm sorry. I didn't hear anything.
How was ammo? Did you feel like you could use bullets or did you have to conserve them a lot?
So because I was exploring like every single place I possibly could, I seemed to have a good amount of ammo. I always had ammo when I needed it, but it was always like just a few more than I needed for using the guns. So it seems like if you play like me or like you, to put it bluntly, Dan, that ammo will be okay. But I was not like walking around with hundreds of ammo by any means. Like, and I was frequently switching guns to take advantage of low ammo and high ammo in different guns. So yeah, it looks like for people that are just going to blitz through it, you're probably going to be doing a lot of melee. But for people like us that are like to crawl and do lots of there in the time that I played, I went into like 4 optional side dungeons that I could have just walked past. And you know, each of them were like full of loot and all sorts of fun stuff. So right at the end of my 3 hours, I got to the city. I didn't even get a chance to explore it because I was having so much fun doing the overworld stuff. But yeah, kind of a Metro Outer Worlds vibe with a little bit of Stalker. Not so much a Fallout Cyberpunk vibe. Like I think, unfortunately, some people were kind of hoping. It's much more of kind of like it seems to be more about the world and the story and exploring it, less about the deep mechanics and deep combat systems.
Yeah. Zeke, what were we gonna say?
Did you get an idea of like? I hate to say it like this, but is there a point? Like,
Yeah, no, so the story so far has been pretty cool. You basically wake up inside this quarantined area. There's that giant purple thing in the sky you can see there, and that's where they were doing some crazy science experiment that went so horribly wrong that they essentially built this giant wall around it, and now there's people stuck inside of it. You don't know why you're there. You don't know who you are. And at the very beginning of the game, this dude who's dying basically tells you, like, you need to get to this place. That's where you're going to find out why all this happened, and you need to do that and then get out.
Cool. That's
I mean, like it immediately pulled me in, so
what so many of these like survival games lack for me is like, no, the point is to survive. And I'm like, I don't want to just survive. I want to get somewhere and do something. I want to fly a rocket off of this planet or whatever it is.
This game has a very specific, like, you are here for a purpose. This is not a sandbox game, Zeke. You are going to have objectives and know exactly where you need to go next if you want to the whole time.
This might be for me then.
It's nice to have a purpose when you're playing a game like that.
It's true. Yeah, that's very true. I like
in that regard, it feels very Metro, which is it's for some reason when I said this during the gameplay, someone was like, "Oh, it's that bad." I was like, "No, that's like wild." If I ever say something's like Metro, that's a wildly glowing statement. Yeah, like it's fantastic. So yeah.
What is the giant glowy thing in the center? I'm assuming that's the Atomfall.
So apparently there was they were trying to do some kind of power system, and something went horribly awry. And it turned out that there was not only the power system on the top, but some kind of derelict secret lab situation under it. And that's literally all I know.
Okay.
So they call wherever you need to go the interchange, and people keep kind of alluding to it. And that's basically what the guy at the very beginning of the game says. These aren't spoilers. This is all like at the very start.
Yeah.
He basically is like, you need to get to the interchange. You need to figure out what's going on in here. You need to figure out the secrets. And then like, that's it. So, and I never even started to move towards the interchange. So I don't know where it's going.
Got it.
But anywhere you look in the world, there's like all sorts of weird stuff going on. There's also some kind of weird virus thing, like almost mycological. It looks to be kind of based on fungus or something. Very avowed in a way, because it's like a fungus that everyone says they hear voices and stuff, and I'm like, oh cool, it's a dream scourge.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is somehow related to the other stuff, but I mean, I have no idea how yet.
Yeah.
Why the fuck is it always mushrooms? Always mushrooms.
I know, right? You know, they like that natural tangent, because you know we have the real mushrooms in real life that do that to ants and stuff, so they like making that kind of tangential jump there, like, oh, maybe it could happen to us too, huh?
Yeah.
Sure.
Dan, what were you trying to say?
Is there difficulty settings, or is it just one difficulty for everyone?
Yep, difficulty settings. So you can pick exactly how hard you want it to be.
Awesome.
There's the inventory. Yeah.
You
can see at the top.
Inventory.
The top there, those are the wow, I'm circling it. Thanks, Co. The top there is where you can see like the different things you can loot, and they max out, like scrap max out at 40. That's the second one. You know, cans at 10. And then there's like a full crafting system, kind of like Last of Us, where you get blueprints, and then you can start crafting regular consumables and stuff in your inventory, all that kind of stuff.
Cool.
Every weapon I got was a piece of shit. So like I'm assuming that you get like significantly better weapons as game progresses, but like every single weapon I found was like literally like rusty garbage long rifle, like barely working 2-barrel shotgun. Like it was terrible.
Got it. Okay.
Oh, great time to mention this game is on Game Pass. So if this is
Oh,
looking even
nice.
slightly cool to you, it is on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Yes, which is
So-
fantastic.
Does it release everywhere tomorrow? What's the release schedule
Yep.
for this?
I
fully out
believe this
tomorrow?
game is releasing around the same. It's either 11 a.m. or 1 p.m. tomorrow. I hope it's 1 p.m. because I've got First Berserker from 11 to 1. So,
With the pre-purchase, because that's what it says on Steam.
so the actual release is the 27th.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
The actual release is 27th, and then if you pre-purchase, you get it 3 days early. You're doing that
For
bullshit.
20 extra bucks.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Ooh, okay.
and I believe it's at 1. I think it's standard Steam release tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
For the early. So
Okay.
I want to say 1 p.m., but I don't know if they've announced that differently somewhere.
Got it. Yeah, just go to the Steam page. I think that's where you can find all the info.
If anyone confirms any release times for that, though, please let me know. Yeah, I'm trying to
It
find
says starts approximately in 19 hours for the advanced access.
Who's going to do the math
Steam.
on stream? I think Co's trying to do
it. No, I'm not.
it.
No.
That's
No, I'm
Atomfall. Hey, they did a future
Oh wait, that'd
game
be 10
show.
a.m.
There you go. They did a future game show this past week. Zeke, I know you watched it. I think Co was sponsored for it. I think Dan watched it. I think we all actually watched it. Zeke, what were any big things from here? I kind of stepped away from it, just being like, it was all right. For you, Zeke, was there anything super crazy in it that you want to blab about?
I mean, nothing like super crazy, but like there was tons of like above average shit. But like for it to be super crazy, like for them to announce something super crazy, it would have to be either a title from something we are familiar with, or another title from a developer we're familiar with, or a team or whatever.
Yeah.
So like that's what really like generates super hype is like, oh, this person is creating another game and here it is. Or this sequel is coming out or prequel or whatever it is. But like new IPs, your hype level is always like a little bit diminished because it could just fucking suck. It's like the trailer looked awesome, but you got to reserve it. You got to hold it back a little bit because it's like, we've had that. We've had the sizzle and got the steak and it was like this piece of shit, burnt, crispy, like terrible steak. Like, damn it. The trailer looks so good though.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
as far as that goes, there were a lot of like, ooh, that looks pretty great. One of them, let's see, I actually wish listed. I'm looking. You can look at all the future game show stuff, the spring showcase on there's a Steam page that has all of them
Oh,
that they
nice.
showed. And looking at them, I guess for a lot of people, Painkiller was a huge like,
Yep.
oh my god.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
remaking
big for me.
Painkiller. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, and I never played the Painkiller original, so I
Oh,
didn't.
you never did?
That didn't happen for me. No.
Yeah, Painkiller for me
But
was
apparently, yeah.
a big esport game. The single player game was kind of like whatever, but they had I think it was MTV had a big esport thing for it, or maybe it was the first $1 million. I forget the exact specifics around it, but it was like one of the first big esport moments way back in the day. This is like 2011, 2010 era.
For me, pinning a guy to the wall with the stake gun in the first level was everything. That sold me on that franchise. Once I did that, I was like, okay, this is different from Doom. I'm in. Painkiller is so much fun, and I'm so glad they're bringing it back.
Yeah.
It also looks really good. Like it actually looks like Doom. I mean, this looks like they're not messing around, man. This looks like a worthy remake.
Mm-hmm.
No, it
Looking
looks
forward to this one.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Speaking of remakes that don't look as fantastic, but people are excited about, is System Shock 2.
That's not a remake.
They
It's a
are-
remaster.
No, I know, but they're remastering it.
Yes.
It's a re-release of a familiar game, but they're not giving it the System Shock 1 treatment, which was a remake. In this one is a remaster where they make all the bad graphics look less bad, or excuse me, not bad, but all the older graphics look less old.
Right.
So people are excited about that. I never played the original, so I have no nostalgia for that. I was when I heard it was going to happen, I was like, oh, they're going to do it like they did the first System Shock, which I played all the way through and enjoyed. And then I saw this and I was like, oh, I think I have to have the nostalgia for this in order to be really excited about it, you know, because I never played System Shock 2. And by all accounts, it's as good or better than the first one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Unfortunately,
But-
you can play this game modded today and it looks better than the remasters looks. There's
Oof.
really good mods
you
out
go.
there. The textures look really nice and model swaps, and unfortunately it just seems like it's not going to be as good as even a modded playthrough at this point. But
Yikes.
I'm
Do you
excited
think
for
there's a
System Shock.
reason? Do you think there's a reason why they did that, Dan? Why they didn't look at the mods and go like, "Wow, let's do that"?
Well, a lot of the mods are like inherently a lot more beefy than what they're doing here. This is like this is not a remake like the first one. This is just a remaster. So if you look at the graphic settings, they just made some tweaks to them, but like all the base stuff is the same. They didn't remodel a lot of stuff. It's just tweaked. So it's probably
Isn't
a
that what
resource
mods
time
do?
issue. Well, there's a lot more issues than just, you know, taking mods made from a community and plopping them for sale. So I mean, there's a whole lot of integration and changes, and you know, is it in the vision that the team wants, and like all sorts of things. Who's going to get the money from it? You know, it's a bit more complex.
Yeah. That's true.
Let's see. Oh, there was I wish listed Electric Elsewhere, or excuse me, Elsewhere Electric.
What is that about?
It's like a co-op puzzle game, which
Oh, I remember
like
this trailer.
gives
Yep.
you, yeah, it's like like VR and stuff. It says it's a VR/mobile game, which I don't fucking understand how that works, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Someone's
If I
probably in
can get it-
VR, then another person's on a phone, and yeah.
Yeah,
And then
that's how-
and then you describe it's like Keep Talking and Nobody Apocalypses or something like that.
Right.
Which I love Keep Talking, Nobody Explodes, so this really appealed to me for sure.
Yeah. Could be cool. I don't know. If that
And then
had
we
a
saw a
release
little
time
bit
on
more of the games that we know of, Kingmakers, South of Midnight. South of Midnight, man, I'm really hoping that's good because it looks and sounds great.
it. Mhm.
And I'm hoping that FPS like toggle is gonna make it like playable for some people.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it looks great. It sounds great. I love the design of like some of the character designs. I love the music. Some of the music they used. I did rail against some of the music they used in the trailer because they like teased this like cool like ragtimey twangy southern like music, and then they used this weird tune instead that was like this country and western pap. It was just terrible. It was just like, I'm singing an average country song, and I'm like, no, put the fucking
That's the
bluesy
song
shit
of my
back
people,
on.
Zeke. How dare you? How dare you insult
No,
us?
There are good country songs. Don't get me wrong. There are good country songs. This
You
was just so
Northwestern
bland and
elite
generic.
over there. Our song's not good enough for you. Go
I'm
back to
from
Montana.
motherfucker. I know country and western. There's only two types of music: country and western. That's what my grandpappy used to say.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man.
But yeah, it looks. I just hope it's as good as I want it to be.
Yeah, I
Sound
think
midnight.
a lot of people are in the same boat as that.
And then the other one I really loved was Reanimal.
Oh, that's the
Yes.
Little Nightmares
Nightmares.
devs, right? Like the
Yeah.
proper, I guess, the former little devs nightmares or little nightmare devs.
Little Nightmare
Yeah,
Devs,
Little
yes.
Nightmare Dev.
It's
Yes.
the nightmare devs of littles, you know. Yeah,
We got there. We got there.
Everyone knows them.
The Stuart Little Nightmare.
Yeah, Stuart Little Nightmare.
Which I would play if anybody wanted to make that game. But Reanimal is very much like the feeling of the Little Nightmares games, except it's a little bit more dark. And what do they call it? Like, I know when it's humans, they call it like body horror, which is like, you know, arm coming out of here, eye over here, you know,
Right.
mouth over here. But when they do it with animals, I think there's a name for that too. But they do that in this game.
Furries?
Furries?
No, no, it's like animal
Furries?
horror.
I think
yeah.
it's furry, Zeke. I think it's
I think it starts with zoo, like zoology, like it's that prefix.
Zo
But,
furries.
either way, they have these
Furry
weird
horror.
animated like sheeps and stuff like that. Sheep, And yeah, it's just a bunch of weird looking animal amalgamations, like
Got it.
Cronenberg's.
Yeah.
And it looks awesome. And it looks very, very disturbing. And I'm all about it.
It does look very, very, very spooky. Dan, anything that piqued your interest in here that Zeke didn't mention?
FBC Firebreak is coming out from Remedy, and Remedy make game, I play. That's just how it works.
True.
Set in the world of Control, but it's gonna be like a multiplayer shooter that kind of looks like Left 4 Dead, which is an interesting concept. And
yeah,
I'm down to try it to see how it is. I don't know without playing it how it's gonna feel playing it, but it definitely caught my eye.
I'm super excited for that.
I was like, as that was going on, as the trailer was going on, I'm like, you see the hiss, which is like they're like in Control. They're like the basic enemies. They're basically zombies, okay? Game-wise. And they come at you and they're pretty generic. I'm like, God damn, I really hope they use some of those, like the SCPs, like the numbered SCPs, the weird like creatures and things. I hope they incorporate that shit when you like go in there and you have your squad and you fight. And no sooner did I say that than they are fighting a giant monster made of sticky notes. And I was like, fuck yes, let's go. I hope they have all of that.
yeah.
I want to see some AWEs that we can use as like tools to help us fight and stuff.
It kind of looked like that. Cool. I mean, they talked about the variety of weapons in the trailer, and like it's got a shotgun like a machine gun, but they had some strange things where it seems like they were altered items or whatever they're called in that world.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think you'll probably get your wish there, Co. I hope so as well, because that's the fun stuff, right? Everyone's seen a machine gun or a shotgun. Put some Control spice in it, like that. Whatever that was. That was basically a rocket jump. And
there was like a piggyback gun or a piggy bank gun as well.
Yeah. Where
which is super cool.
I think the piggy bank, they like attach the piggy bank to something, and then when it hits enemies, the coins inside like have a tornado spiral or something that does AoE damage around it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Just some.
I'm super excited for that.
Some fun stuff.
I want to see some crazy weapons you can't do in other games, like stuff that just bends reality. Sure. That's what we want to see in this game.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
AWEs are altered world events. That's the actual big things. It's objects of power.
Objects of power. That's what
objects
it is.
of power. OOPs.
Yeah.
Oops. There we go.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah. That's looking cool. And they just said, summer 2025.
Another game that looks like it was made for me is called Locomoto. Now you get to play as a bear, and you get to repair a broken train, and then you get to drive it around to animal towns and do quests and repair this train and get your customers to get on the train who are animals and feed them, serve them tea. And it looks like the most cute little game ever. It's all about repairing this little train and like making animal friends and building up, designing your train. And it just looks absolutely adorable.
That's a cozy game right there, if I've ever seen one.
Fell in love with this trailer.
It would be, I would be all over it. Dude, I'm not into anthropomorphic games. I'm not. I don't know. I just can't. I've have in the past a few times, but I'm finding it like the more I see of them, the more I'm just like, it's just hard. I don't know.
This game has
I like the mechanics.
So many things going against it. It's too cozy. It's too cute. Is it cell shaded? Is that what is? Because
I don't think that's cell shaded. Not really.
It reminds me of it too much. So like,
it's got a lot of solid colors like cell shading.
Yeah.
Pastels. Dan, I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, Dan. I hope it's the greatest game of all time.
Yeah, you and Dodger.
Absolutely. Dodger will be all over that. He's gonna love it.
That's right. Yeah.
I like that. It's not. I just have furry fatigue. That's right. There's just so many of them right now. It's just a little fatigued is all.
Well, I mean, that's been our entire lives though. Like, Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Mickey Mouse. Our entire life, anthropomorphic things.
I suppose. Yeah. I guess that makes sense. I'm looking at the list of games. Anything from here that we didn't, or anything from you from there that we didn't mention?
I finished KCD 2. It was all right.
No. I mean from Future Game Show. We'll talk KCD 2 in a sec.
I don't think so. Like there were a lot of really cool games there, and I'm looking forward to big time. I'd have to look at like the big list But no, yeah, it was a great show. I love the hosts too. That was another great example of them. Like, I like the comedy style that Future Game Show is doing now compared to their old stuff. Because I don't know if you remember their old stuff. Some of their older shows were terrible. Like,
it was so cringe, man. It was
dude.
In terms of the jokes, is that what you're saying?
Some of the older jokes, like every single joke would be about whatever character they played, like every single one of them.
Oh.
And some of them were just like, it was so bad. Like, it's not even like dad joke level funny, just like phoning it in funny. So these days, and especially the last like 4 or 5 shows, it's been getting like slowly better and better. Now they're funny. Like, I like them these days. Like, I love Jennifer English. I love Nolan North. Like, they did a great job. There was a good back and forth. Nothing really felt too try-hardy.
Yeah.
I liked it. I like the new style. So, yeah.
I got one. First,
they had older
Cody,
shows. Dude, it's 10 years old. Is my phone going off? I'm sorry. I don't hear it. My headphones on.
Yeah, you don't hear it anymore. I get it. I totally get it. I don't hear mine either.
It's just off. Yeah.
No, one you'll like, Co. This one's for you and for me. From the creators of Stasis Bone Totem.
Yeah,
game.
of course. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful Desolation.
Yes.
Animal Use Protocol.
Animal Use Protocol.
That shit looked awesome.
Dude, I've been looking to that one for a while. They actually let me debut the trailer on my channel, which was super awesome. But that is from the makers of Brotherhood, Stasis Bone Totem, Beautiful Desolation, like Zeke was saying. It's there. They normally do like very narrative, kind of messagey horror ARPGs. I don't know what you call them, Zeke. Like they're very unique. The Brotherhood devs are very unique. It's a couple brothers from South Africa. But this is their first foray into like first person, and this looks wild. Now this is anthropomorphic. I can get into.
Point and click games.
So yeah, they normally do point and click. But this one looks wild.
I hate to do this to you, Co, but I gotcha. Because you're playing as an animal who talks. Boom.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, it's like I said. It's. Here's the difference, though. Is anthropomorphic is animals looking like people, right? Is that what that means? Or is it animals with human like? Because this is not animals that look like people. This is animals that speak English.
True.
So it's different.
Okay. There is a distinction there. I get you.
Also, the rat on his gun. The rat on his gun has a Tamagotchi snack to its butt. So that's a big. I mean, look right there. You can see it, little Tamagotchi. So that's a big selling point.
We have to protect Rat Friend at all costs.
With Tamagotchi butt.
Yes, we do.
Yeah,
absolutely. Oh, it is. Oh, anthropomorphic is having human characteristics. So yeah, I guess that would.
I think there's a.
It really doesn't matter. I was just being a dick.
No. I think I'm canceled now. Is that how that works?
No, I just think you're a furry.
Am I done?
I think you're just a furry. Yeah,
closet furry.
Yeah, closet furry. Yeah.
Do I have to pick my persona now?
I think you do have to pick this. Actually, the persona picks you. That's how it works.
I think I already did that for WoW or something. I don't know.
You might have. Actually, you probably in Soda's quiz. You definitely did. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah.
I think I'm a cat.
Yeah. How are you guys feeling about this?
We'll have to wait till 2026 for the animal one.
Let me tell you this. I thought this game was I feel like this game is like Pow World. That's what this game is. And let me tell you what I mean. I think when everyone here heard about this game, the premise of it, they all rolled their eyes and was like, that sounds ridiculous. Kind of like I did with Pow World the first time. Pokemon with guns? Yeah, okay, whatever. However, now that I've looked into this game more, this game looks like it could be a huge amount of fun. Like an actual huge amount of fun. Fully destructible environments. Everything is simulated. Every single unit is like a real thing in the game. They're not cutting corners.
Yeah.
Like the building destruction looks crazy. You can build your own stuff. Like this is turning into something that might be a lot of hours.
It's co-op now too. 4-person co-op.
Yeah. So and actually, and what's crazy is it looks like it's running pretty well in all the previews. Like I would have assumed that this would have been like a buggy absolute mess, and maybe it will be on release. But man, I mean, it looks like it's pretty smooth and pretty fun.
Yeah.
Now, for anyone who watched this, correct me if I'm wrong. Was this the trailer where they were like, we put it on the UE4 engine, and they basically said because UE5 sucks ass?
Well, no. So it's not.
Was that this
UE5. That is this one, but UE5 is a much newer engine and has all sorts of issues and not quite the capabilities of UE4 because of how long it was out and how long it was developed. So what this
Sucks
But
ass.
well, in terms of this, for instance, another great example. Well, anyway, but the point is that UE4 can do some things better than UE5 right now. Doesn't mean it's always going to be the case, but UE4 is better at a lot of things than UE5 currently. So it's not that UE5 sucks. It's just it does, it's not up to snuff.
They put it in flowery language just like you did. I pointed it out immediately. I was like, oh shit, that was hilarious. They were like, UE5's not ready for what we can do with this game yet. UE4 seemed like it was a perfect fit for us, and I was like, oh, fucking take that, UE5 bitches.
Sure. Yeah.
That's basically what they said. Yes.
I think that was 1-to-1.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
For me,
exaggeration is humor.
Yeah. The selling point for me in this was when like the guns and trucks and grenade launchers and all that stuff was fine. It's when they're like, yeah, we put an M1 Abrams in medieval times and you could just drive that through stuff. I was like, how do you defeat a tank with medieval weaponry?
I think the joke is you don't. I think that's the joke. The way that you stop a tank with an army of medieval people is that so much viscera gets clogged in the exhaust that the engine stops working. That's how you stop a tank in medieval time.
It's bonkers. I want to see how that unfolds for sure. That
just have to believe, and you can do anything.
Maybe so. Maybe so. The fact that in the co-op, when they were like, oh yeah,
it runs out of fuel. That's how you do it. That's how you stop the tank. It runs out of fuel.
Yeah, I guess that's not going to be readily available.
JP, how they described, like, you're going to have so many sprites or whatever on the screen, whatever you call them.
Yeah.
At the same time, with all this, like they're not just like appearing. They said, like, in the trailer, like, they're not just appearing on the battlefield.
Yep.
They're coming from somewhere and they have, mission statements to do on the battlefield and whatnot. And that just blows my fucking mind.
Yeah.
They each have their own AI process. Yep.
Yeah.
Could be cool.
I'm wondering how to run.
Yeah. Could be really cool. We'll keep an eye on that.
Let's do out Q2 of 2025, whatever that means.
That is
coming up.
Is that fall? That's early fall, right? Q1 is April to July, I think, or April to June.
Yeah, April, May, June.
And then June is June to August maybe, or June to September, something like that. I don't know. What are tax seasons? Who cares?
Oof.
What else do we have? Oh yeah, I guess taxes are coming up. True, that is an oof. Do we want to talk about Sven's statement this week? I feel like it's one of those things where it's like I heard it and I was like, yeah, I agree with that. For some people, I guess they heard it and it was a bigger deal than that. The statement itself, Sven, who was the Larian Studios founder, we've had him on the show, Baldur's Gate 3 director. He came out via a tweet while talking to fans on Twitter. It might have, I think people deduced that it might have come from meetings that he was having at GDC with other executives, but his tweet was, that time of the year again when big single player games are declared dead. Use your imagination. They're not. They just have to be good. I heard that and I was like, yeah, I agree with that. But is anyone not?
He's absolutely right. Like, gamers can tell when a game is made to be fun versus made to make someone money. Like, it's just meant to keep you playing, not necessarily to entertain you enough. Like, Baldur's Gate 3 was not designed to sell you in-game microtransactions or skins. It was just designed to be the most fun RPG that they could make, and it was single player and co-op. But if you make a game from your heart and you make it to be fun and you're passionate about it, like Stardew Valley or Baldur's Gate, these games do well because they're just really good and really fun. And like he said, they have to be good. Not every game is good. Every game has people that will like it, that don't like it. Not every game is going to be a home run. But there are some of my favorite games of all time are single player games that are linear, they're non-open world, and I would Mass Effect, for example, 2. One of my favorite games of all time. Linear, for the most part, not open world, just single player, just amazing game. But just because I think what a lot of CEOs is they learn the wrong lessons about games. Like Veilguard didn't do well because we didn't have enough live service. Like that was one of the CEOs quoting just that as an example. Like they learned the wrong lessons about, like they think, oh, this game didn't do well because it was single player. Well, it must be multiplayer and it'll suddenly be better.
Yeah.
So like I just think they keep learning the wrong lessons, and single player games will always do good if it's a fun game that people want to play and you find an audience for that game that you want to play.
Yep. I agree with everything you said. It's one of those things.
I would echo that completely, Dan, that probably my top 5 games of all time are just single player games. I don't think I would have a multiplayer game until like I hit 20.
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of those things where a CEO is not necessarily interested in making a good game. They're interested in making money, right?
Yeah.
So those two things don't necessarily meet up in the Venn diagram.
It's when the purpose of your company is to make sure a board is happy.
Yeah.
Because the board is not gamers. The board does not care about the product. The board cares about the numbers and the spreadsheets and the bottom line. And that's all they care about. And that's how you get a monetization officer.
Yep.
That's correct. Anyway, speaking of good single player games, Cody said he finished KCD 2.
I did. 135 hours.
Jesus.
I'm not even done with everything.
Oh, there's still side story stuff?
I've got some side stuff to do.
Is there any like
A little bit
post-game
here and there.
content? Like epilogues or anything?
I don't know.
Okay.
It does let you continue playing.
Oh, okay.
And I do know that some of the stuff that's at the end of the game map gets a bit changed for the new map, but I don't know if it adds anything. It's going to be spoiler free. Yes, I will not be spoiling anything.
Yeah. I don't even know the questions to ask for spoilers. So,
So tell me about the ending.
So Henry dies, which was a very big deal.
No.
I'm sorry. No KCD 3. Hans kills him, actually. Not even Hans. It's actually Luke, the guy that plays him, actually kills
Skywalker?
him.
Oh.
Yep, that's right. Skywalker from Star Wars. And
they have
Picard's there, too.
lightsabers? Why didn't you tell me? I would have been there day one.
There you go.
Yeah.
I was not expecting the zombie outbreak at the end.
How did Henry die? Childbirth. He died during childbirth. Yeah.
So is it a 10 out of 10 for you, Co?
Solid 11 out of 10. No, real talk. Yeah, I loved every minute of it. KCD 2 is where Baldur's Gate 3 was an evolution for CRPGs, KCD 2 is an evolution for immersive sandboxes. It is a remarkably well-made project in almost all of its pillars. On top of that, it is one of the better 1 to 2s I've seen in a long time. And I'm talking about like the difference between KCD 1 and KCD 2. Almost every system was touched, updated, or new things added or new QOL added to address like 95% of player feedback from the first game, which is just amazing. I've spoken with some of the devs. I was able to interview some of the devs, and I spoke with them afterwards as well. And their mindset and how they approached in making this game was fundamentally rooted in delivering the best possible product to the fans of the first game. And it shows in every second of this game. It shows. Like this is everything about KCD 2 is a passion project. Like we were just talking about that corpo feel that games get sometimes. This is the opposite spectrum. This is what you get on the extreme other end is KCD 2.
I absolutely love how they, with the sequel, decided to take everything from the first game, instead of changing it or streamlining it or modernizing it or tweaking it to be good for everyone. They just decided to take those systems and take the best parts of them and make them even better without changing their philosophy of what they want the game to be. They want the game to be this thing, and they just made it even more that thing with the sequel and got rid of some of the rough edges. And it just, my opinion, is one of the best games I've ever played, let alone the best games of the year. Like, it's incredible from story to writing, voice acting. The performances, by the way, in the game are some of the best I've ever seen in a video game. Those actors have just... There were some actors in the first game that weren't quite as good as the others on the cast, but this game, everyone was phenomenal. I was enthralled with every quest and side quest. It was just so good. I was just
Side quest
blown.
was phenomenal.
The writing also, just the writers on that game. I will play whatever that team makes because it is going to be good. Whatever genre, whatever type, it is going to be amazing because they're just so good at what they do.
What
Big same.
besides Kingdom Come Deliverance, have they made any other games, or is that the only ones that they put out?
Not 100% sure actually.
Okay.
I think
wanna
that was
say-
their
I think
first
that was
game
their
as
first one.
yeah.
Yeah.
That team as a whole, like that was their first game. Was
Got
Kingdom
it.
Come Deliverance.
Yeah.
And it was a
yeah.
much, much smaller team that got bigger throughout the
Mhm.
production. The one thing I will say that was a downside to KCD2, and I kind of hope maybe the next game will have enough to get around this, but they reuse so many voice actors. So like it gets to the point
Ah.
where with like there's this character named the Dry Devil who has an incredibly distinctive voice. And by the 7th or 8th NPC that's voiced by him, it's just kind of like, like I kind of get it because they had to, they had so many voiced NPCs, they had to use the same actors a bunch of times. But like every single main character's voice, except Hans and Henry, I'm pretty sure, gets used multiple times by side characters and NPCs. So like it's like, oh, there's Radzig, oh, there's Hanush, oh, there's Dry Devil, like all the it's the Miller, like just everywhere. And that's like the only thing that kind of really stuck out in terms of immersive. Like you would be like super immersed, and then the NPC would start talking with Dry Devil's voice, and you're just like, oh, like there goes that, darn it. But outside of that, like that was the only thing that kind of stuck out, I'd say. In terms of like the actual immersive sandbox experience. And again, I don't know how they get around that with as many voiced. I mean, there's 2.2 million voiced words in the game.
Jesus.
I don't know how you're going to get around that.
I guess money is probably how you do it, and yeah, eventually
I think
that runs out.
What I think what they might want to do is just hire like 10 more voice actors and only have them do the side characters and peasants and stuff. Because like even like characters you couldn't talk to that just had like barks would sometimes have voice lines from iconic characters. Like you'd just be running through a city and some guy would be like, hey, slow down, in like the Dry Devil's voice. And you're just like,
What the hell?
yeah, exactly. What?
Yeah.
So, maybe separating that a bit more could be good in the future. But I mean, again, seems like a small thing because it is a small thing. Like that's one of the only things that really stuck out at all.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like you said, a minor complaint with 140 plus
Was it
hours
AI?
of gameplay.
No. Yeah. The answer is not AI in that.
And with there being facial capture too, to be like, wait a minute, weren't you just a bishop? Like, why are you a peasant now? Like, because the face would be the same. Like, man,
Oh, it's like
didn't I
the
kill
same
you?
facial model, you
Yeah.
mean?
It's the same face with like different hair or beard and stuff.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The face underneath is the same person.
Got it. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, it's one of those games where I will, there's been so much, you guys have said so many good things about it. Everyone that I know says so many good things about it. I will probably have to do some sort of check-in on that game, look at that game. I don't know if I could do a full playthrough of it, but maybe it'll capture me. I did hear, because I kept talking about with AC Shadows, like how good the forest and everything look when you're going through them. And everyone was like, "Oh, you need to play KCD2. Like they've got that shit on lock." So maybe the graphics are what keep me involved in KCD2.
Walking through the forest and it starts raining.
Yeah.
Put on your headphones. Oh, dude. There were times when I would literally just lean back in my chair and close my eyes for like half a minute.
Yeah. Seems good.
It's nice.
Seems
nice.
good. Seems like it'll probably be up again at the end of the year for conversation.
JP, if you just like to walk around and just bump into stuff.
Yeah.
It's a game you can exist in. That's one of the reasons it does such a good sandbox. I mean, it's kind of like an MMO. Stay with me. And what I mean by that is when you log in, a lot of times in an MMO, there's so many things you can do that you log in without knowing what you're going to do when you log in.
Sure.
You're like, okay, I'm just going to log in and see what I feel like doing. Like you can do that in KCD2. You can log in and be like, okay, what do I want to do today? I could go hunting. I could go steal some stuff. I could do side quests. I could do main quests. I could do alchemy. I could go do blacksmithing. I could go look at the shops. I could like walk around. Like I can go explore new areas. Like there's so many different things to do. It's mind blowing at times, and honestly, I think it's overwhelming to a lot of players, which is why they don't play this game. But
'cause
for
there's-
those of us
yeah.
that, because there's so much you can do.
I get that for sure.
But it's if you can get invested in it, it's a bottomless pit of awesome. Like there's just so many different things you can do at any time.
Nice. Yeah. I'm sure it'll come back up towards the end of the year for Game of the Year stuff. So we will most likely,
maybe. We'll
yeah,
see.
maybe. Who knows?
Maybe.
At least in these part of the woods. Let me ask: do you think it's going to have like the wide stream? Like, are we going to see it at the Keeleys? Is it going to be up for like Game of the Year at the Keeleys? You think so?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Completely.
Yeah. Cool. Then we'll have our discussions about it then. Dan, someone in chat told me that you have been playing 33 Immortals.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, how are you liking that fucking nightmare difficulty of a game?
It's such a fun concept. Like there's so many roguelikes, but not a lot of like roguelikes where you're working with a team and co-op to accomplish a big goal together.
Yeah.
So I love that just from like concept style. The basic premise of 33 Immortals is that you are one of a bunch of spirits and you're going into hell, then paradiso, and then heaven to basically win immortality for yourself by taking on the Satan, and then the middle boss I won't spoil, and then of course God at the end. And it's really fun. If you like roguelikes where you just you have a few abilities, you go through, you reset your character every time, but you get like a little bit of progression between runs, get a few extra perks, you get a little bit stronger. It's really fun, but it is a multiplayer game. So if you get in a lobby with a lot of people,
you have to play multiplayer,
You
right?
have to play multiplayer.
You have to. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. The way it works is 33 people will log into a map. It's a big map, and then across the map are objectives that you'll basically split into smaller groups to accomplish. Like there's little tortured chambers that you have to clear to get to the final boss, and each one has to be cleared, and only 6 people can go in at a time. So you can't like all spam each one. So it's about doing things in smaller groups, and then you eventually, whoever's alive at the end gets to go to the final boss, and you fight the final boss all together at once. And the premise is you want to like level up, get stronger during this period before the boss, and then go into the final boss and fight it, and then hopefully you win. And if you win, you get a key to go to the next map. And if you don't win, you still get some like experience, some perks, some like bonuses that carry between runs. So it's rogue light, I think is the word, when it's progression between runs.
Yeah.
So you'll get perks, and the perks will get stronger. If you're lucky, you'll get in a group with like 10 people that really know what they're doing, and they'll like are really geared, and it'll be a much easier experience because they can like those 10 by themselves can take on the boss.
Yeah.
But some runs you'll have 33 people in the final boss, and then you all get slaughtered because no one really knows what's going on or the mechanics, or they're not very geared. So it's very like hit or miss with the system. You can go in with a party of 4. So if you want to play with people, you can group up with 4 and play with your friends and just go in together. But it's really fun. Yeah.
Can the last boss of these areas be soloed?
No. Well,
no. I'm asking like if like is it fully dependent on the other 32 players if you're going to win or not?
So this is the boss right here. You see the thing at the top center?
His health?
Yeah, he's got 10 HP bars. And this is with 13 people attacking him. So
and there's
raid mechanics.
So I mean, here's like the unfortunate question I'm asking. Like, is it the kind of thing where as you're playing through a round, people just start dropping out because they realize they're not going to win?
You still get stuff from fighting in the fight that are worth carrying over. Like you can get experience and stuff that you can use to like complete quests. So it is worth trying, because sometimes you can sneak a win on these bosses because they're very mechanics focused. So if everyone knows the mechanics, a good group of 6, you all know what to do when the boss does these things, you can defeat it because it is very mechanics versus just raw DPS.
Yeah.
But of course, higher DPS makes the boss die faster, which makes it easier in some ways. But you can do it in a small group.
Is there like full stat tracking? So like at the end, you get like a leaderboard of who did the most damage and stuff like that?
Yeah, there's at the end you get a leaderboard of like who did the most damage, the most kills, who healed the most, who like there's like a laundry list of stuff, and you get points based on that help you carry over progression between rounds. So your meta progression, I should say.
Yep.
So is the meta like? Are you still playing this, or are you done with it?
I'm still playing it here and there. It's like there are a lot of different weapons, and each weapon plays differently. So like it's fun to like you get permanent stat points for accomplishing goals with different weapons. So like it's worth going through and grinding out all the weapons to get stronger.
Yeah,
That
there's
way
like
you're
daily
better.
quests basically.
Yeah, like you get like a
Huh.
permanent attack bonus if you complete a few objectives for this weapon and that weapon. So like you can make your favorite weapon stronger by doing these other weapons and getting progression between them. So it's got a fun like grind. And the game's only $20, and with
Cool.
the 3 different maps and difficulty, I think it's like a pretty good value for what you're getting and like how long you will grind and the things you unlock.
Yeah.
Just by playing the game.
It's on Game Pass as well.
Yeah, it's on Game Pass too.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool, man.
I did 2-hour sponsored stint 2 or 3 days ago. I played offline later that night, and then right after the show today, I'm doing another one and a final one tomorrow. But it's the type of thing where I still haven't. Did you kill the first boss? Did you end up? I ended up killing him in the beta. I haven't killed him in like early access release.
I killed him a couple times because other people were so good and they were so powerful.
Okay.
Like in some runs, we struggle bust and like I got slaughtered. So it's a really hard game.
Yes, it's very hard. Yeah. To put the degree of difficulty, like you have an HP bar and you can increase your HP, but you start with 100 HP, and like a normal mob will do like anywhere from 15 to 25 damage. And then when you die once, you can be resurrected once, but you get half HP.
Okay.
As your new max, basically. And then if you die again, you're kicked out. You don't even get to spectate unless you're in a group and they're still alive. They just kick you out of the level.
Damn.
You don't even get to see anything after that.
And I love the art style. The art style is very like 80s cartoon or 70s cartoon. It's just such a cool look to it.
Yeah.
Heavy metal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the music's also, I wouldn't say the music's metal, but it's theme appropriate. Like it's good. I played mostly, so Dan mentioned there's 4 weapons. I played mostly Greatsword. It has kind of your standard archetypal weapons where Greatsword can like parry. It's got twin daggers, which are kind of like the DPS. It's got a staff, which is kind of like magic. And then it's got a bow and arrow, which is kind of like your rogue type build. And there are, when you level up in the actual game, you can choose if you want vigor, strength, and empathy. And empathy is like your ultimate. I don't know if it's happened on screen, but you have a bar there behind Dan over his right shoulder that when you fill it up, see those little circles on the screen? The other people on the map have to go and join in that, and then they'll either get a shield if it's the tank, or they'll do like a DPS mechanic. And there's a bunch of like work together with the team to set all that stuff off. And so you can do different builds with all of that stuff in mind. But ultimately, what Dan said is kind of the case. You got to know what you're doing. And so it's a little bit of trial and error when you go into the boss for the first time and you see a mechanic and you're like, how the hell do we defeat that? Oh, you got to kill all these crystals, or the spell goes off that he's casting, or all that different type of stuff. Like I said, I've only done the first boss. I think I've seen the second boss, but it was for like 10 seconds. Like I got absolutely
And then death.
Yeah, just completely destroyed.
Second area was so much harder than the
It
first.
was so much harder. Yeah, mobs just have so much HP. I think they really want you to have like actual levels built into your character at that point, or really upgrades, because there's not like levels, so to speak. But
And this game's in early access, not even done yet. They're going to add more weapons.
Yep.
and
They're doing the
last-
Hades approach, right?
I think so.
Where
Yeah.
they're doing like a year on EGS and then public everywhere.
Yes. Yeah. It is Epic Game Store at the moment. Epic Game Store and consoles and Game Pass. Is it on PC Game Pass, Dan? I think it is. I'm
I
not
would
100%
assume so.
certain.
Oh, it's on Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah, but not PC Game Pass.
don't know.
Okay.
Oh, it is on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Okay. I love this cheat code that a lot of devs are doing where you get your exclusivity window, but you do it while the game's in early access, so it's not fully released. So when you release it, then you put it on Steam. Therefore, you got the Epic money, you got the exclusivity part of your contract done, and then you get to release it on Steam anyways when it's done.
Yeah.
Worked great for
nice
Hades. Yep.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah, chat's confirming it.
I'm
is
looking on the
Game
PC
Pass.
game. I'm looking on the PC Game Pass, and it says 33 Immortals game preview. Is that what it is?
That's
probably
playable.
early access.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
their
Okay.
early access term. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's fun time. They're doing a pretty cool influencer campaign where they put a bunch of different influencers on different teams, and you get like an in-game cloak, and then when you do things with that in-game cloak, it goes to an overall score. I'm fairly certain the team that I'm on is in like complete dead last place.
Yeah, I'm on the red team too. We're not getting any perks.
Yeah, we're both on the red team. We're just
way ahead of us.
We're just sucking it up.
Yeah.
Is the other team Gathalion, by the way? Is
Gathalion's been hooked on this game. He's been playing it nonstop.
He's been playing it for a long, long time. Yeah, the past couple of days. So
actually, JP, I'll put the link in your chat. We actually are almost caught up.
To second or to first?
Yeah, we're almost unlocked the top milestone, so we'll get all the rewards. But we just we're almost to 1 million. You just gotta get 1 million to get all the rewards. We won't win the race, but we'll at least get all the rewards for our community.
Got it. Okay. My chat's saying apparently the number 1 team is the VTuber team. So
of course it is.
We're not going to beat the VTubers. We're just you can't beat them.
Too powerful.
Yeah, they just multiply. There's too many of them. Rabid fan base, it's too much. It's too much. It is a very cool premise, and there's not very many games that I can say are like this. And if anything, I hope more devs see this and start to experiment with this style of game, because it's pretty unique. And it's also a lot of fun being able to communicate with 33 other people, but not being like, hey, fuckhead, go over here. You just have to put up a little arrow above your head that says right, go to the right, go to the right. Oh my God, you didn't go to the right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We'll all agree on an emote that means F you when you see it.
Yeah. The community figures out the emotes that are all about, and puts definitions to them. But there's a fun factor in that. It's keeping me, continuing to play, because every once in a while you do get those godlike players that not only are they doing a lot of damage, but they're also calling raid calls. Mm-hmm. They'll kill a bracelet on the boss and then be like, hey, go to the right side when the spell finishes casting, by just putting the emote and then a spell emote right afterwards. And it's cool that you can do that. So I hope more and more devs start doing things like this when it comes to multiplayer. I think there's a lot of room for experimentation, so it could be cool. And then self shout out, if you want to see some more of this, I'll be playing it right after the stream today. For a little sponsored portion. Zeke, what have you been up to? What have you been playing the past week?
Oh, well. The Steam Spring Sale was happening. I'm like, you know what? I don't usually look at sales, because more often than not, I already have the fucking game. Usually I'll get it on release. If it's a game I want to play already, I'll just buy it on release.
Right.
I won't wait for it to go on sale. But I was perusing the Steam Spring Sale, and I saw there was a game called Heavy Rain. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yeah, of course. Is that sarcastic?
I was kidding. Yeah, I was kidding.
Okay.
There was a game called Heavy Rain that was $1.99. I'm like,
wow.
I don't own this. I don't own this. Weird. And then I sat there and I'm like, I was like, man, I am sure that I played this. It's a David Cage game. It's been around forever. Everybody knows of it. I'm sure that I have played this. And the thing is, I have not played it. I just know the memes really well.
Yeah, because I could have sworn
I know the X to Sean, X to Jason. I know all that shit. And I've seen I think I've seen speedruns of it,
Probably.
but like, I was like, you know what? I'm going to fire it up because I don't remember any of it. If I have played it, I don't remember any of it. So I was like, you know what? Let's play. And I actually was telling one of my mods, like, what are you going to play? And I'm like, you know, I kind of just want an easy win right now. So I'm going to play a game that everybody's heard of and that people will tune in for, you know, different reasons, whatever. So I'm going to check out Heavy Rain. I can't remember if I played it. And he's like, I don't think you have, but I don't remember either. And I'm like, shit, it's been 12 years of streaming. So like, holy shit.
Yeah.
But I fired it up and I'm like, I don't remember any of this. So no, I have not played this. And I played it and I played all the way through it. And I played it like a David Cage, I played it like I would play David Cage games, which I have. And I put it on the hardest difficulty. And for a lot of it, I just put my controller down.
Yeah.
And let shit happen. And you know, like throughout the game, you get trials. You get these little origami pieces with trials in them. And I failed. And if there was like one of the trials had an option, and it said it was a door to your left, or you could go through this huge like electricity field of like, you know, live wires and shit. And the door to my left said coward. And I went, that's the door for me. And I fucking left and I just walked out. And I did that for every single trial, every single thing. Like I failed on purpose the whole way through. And the game is actually pretty short, by the way. If you do it like that, there's a lot of things you don't have to go through if you fail everything. And by the end, and I love doing that. And the reason why I love doing it is first and foremost, because I want to give people an experience they didn't experience on their playthrough or anybody else's, like watching somebody else play it.
Zeke, we always get that with you.
Often happens. Oh. And the other one is seeing people get so upset, like, what are you're not going to step in? You're just going to let that person get beat to death? I'm like, yep, I guess I am. I guess I'm not going to step in. All you have to do is press A. Oh, I know. I don't have to press. I'm not pressing anything. And they're like, I have never seen anyone make that choice before. And that is my favorite quote from anybody chatting. I don't think I've ever seen anyone let this person die or whatever. So, okay, before I get to the end of the game is great. It's actually really good. And the story is immersive. It's fantastic. There's some twists and stuff that I didn't personally see coming because it's a murder mystery. So you're like, oh, who's the murderer? Who's the murderer? And by the end of it, I was like, oh, that's a surprise. And now it makes sense. Now some of the things like have come together. But boy, did they pick some weird fucking voice actors for this fucking game. Holy shit. They had some like people who could not decide on an accent, like Naman Jaden, the FBI guy. He was like from Space Boston.
Yeah.
He had the weirdest fucking accent I've ever heard in my life.
Space
he would
Boston.
Words like Naman, his name is Norman, but he would say Naman. But then the rest of his speech would be fine. And then whenever it came to another word, it'd be like, you know, very, very like thick Boston on it. And it's like, you're not doing this right. This is wrong. This whole thing is incorrect. Like it's bad. But it was fucking hilarious. And like he wasn't the only one. Like there were a couple of other voice actors in there that just weren't like, it was just not their acting was bad. Because their acting was fine. It was just the accent that they chose to go with just made shit sound funky and hilarious at times.
Sure, yeah.
There's an innkeeper at the beginning of KCD2 that can't decide if she is Jamaican or Welsh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she kind of goes back and forth. Yeah. It's great.
I love that shit.
I love it.
No, all the actors, no, they were not French. They were from all over. There was American, British, French. There was all kinds of different accents, and none of them in their native accent, which I thought was hilarious.
Man, that's crazy.
They all affected an accent for the character. I did get to see a pair of boobies. That was nice. Just want to mention that.
Oh, even on the fell
There was a
route.
shower scene.
Oh,
That shower scene, classic.
Shower scene. Yep. Apparently there's a sex scene that I didn't get because that person who was going to have sex, or both of them, were dead. So it couldn't happen. So I missed that, but I did get the shower scene, which was nice.
great.
But going through the game, I was enjoying the shit out of it all the way through. I was laughing and having a good time, but actually it's a pretty good story. Like it's a pretty immersive, like
I still need to play that game.
Yeah, it's not.
and it was fun.
not a bad
It was well done.
When you did the.
But by the end,
well, go ahead. No. By the end, what?
by the end, we watched after I was done playing, we watched a YouTube video of a montage of all the endings you can get, and there's like 10. There's like a huge amount of different endings you can get. Some of the pieces are the same, but specifically different endings. If one person dies, or two, or three, or this person, not that person, so on and so forth. I got the absolute worst and shortest ending because everybody by the end was dead except, guess who? The origami killer got away scot-free. just walked away, didn't get caught, didn't get killed. Everybody dies, including the kids he kidnapped.
Did you do the chase sequence where you let him fail everything, Zeke? That's one of my funniest, or one of the funniest cutscenes. There's like a chase sequence in the game. I think you're playing as this character and you're chasing after someone, and you can just let him fail everything.
Is it in a vehicle?
I don't recall. I thought he was running on a sidewalk or something like that in the market, maybe.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
No, no. I think I know which one you're talking about, and it's just like he is bumping into every single fucking person. Yeah, I absolutely did that. Anytime there was a chase sequence with a lot of QTEs, I just put the controller down and just watching like,
dude, it's the best part. He just runs into everything like a buffoon.
The fucking funny thing is, if you fail these, like you get like, that changes your character model. Like you get burns on your chest from the electricity. You get like cuts on your head from like getting like slamming into a wall or whatever.
Oh
like,
man.
Like by the end of it, my dude was fucking horrible. Like, he was having the worst time. His legs were all cut up. His pants were in tatters. His fucking shirt was barely there.
It's a bad day.
Oh, and also like one of my favorites was you can it's all quick time events in this game. That's all it is.
Right.
It's all like push this button, hold down on the stick. Motion controls. Oh, what a bitch that was.
Oh yeah, because this was PS3, I think. Yeah, so it was the DualSense. Yeah, the DualSense.
Yep.
So how did that work then? We're using an Xbox controller?
No, I got my DualSense. I got my PS5 controller.
Oh, okay. All right.
I got old Red out, and we did have to download a configuration file, like a community made configuration file, to make it viable to use. I would suggest, honestly, to make it easy on your life, just do it on Xbox, because they don't do the motion controls. They do like you have to like waggle the stick or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything is motion controls, which and it's still, even with the fix, it was fucking terrible. I barely like moved the controller, and the motion control down would work. But left,
you use
right,
scissors.
up.
My God. Oh.
No, I didn't use any of them.
Okay.
You forget, Dan. I failed all these. I let the timer run out. I sat there for 5 minutes going, am I gonna do it? And then I'm like, no, I can't do it. My son's not worth my finger.
Oh man,
it's hard to get another finger.
I put it down. Fuck it. Yep. And then I let the time run out. No. Like the fail conditions were just excellent. What I was gonna say was, one of them is a slow. You have to drag the right stick slowly from left to right, or right to left, or whatever. Yeah. And if you don't, you fail it. And one of them was the lady putting antiseptic on my cut forehead. So I would do it quick every time, and she'd go, And he go, ow. And eventually, I didn't know this would happen, but eventually he's like, that's good. I think I'm good now. And he like tells her, like, you're bad at this. Please stop hurting me. It was so fucking great.
That might be maybe you do a franchise playthrough of David Cage where it's just all failures. You just do every fail state. Probably be a fun thing to watch.
Dude,
I mean, it probably exists, but do it.
Yeah, the only one I have left to do is this weird older one called Omicron something.
Have you played the one with
the Nomad Soul?
Have you done the one?
Oh, from way back. The game's awesome.
Yeah.
What's the one with? Oh God. It's like the sister and the brother. Do you know which one I'm talking about? And like the brother has like supernatural ability. Beyond Two Souls. Have you played that?
Yeah, Beyond Two Souls.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Another one I need to play.
There's a lot of them that just were kind of like fine. They weren't. I think Heavy Rain was like a big splash. And then Detroit, Detroit Become Human. Yeah, that was the other big one.
That was enjoyable.
Yeah.
Fahrenheit was pretty good.
Oh, dude, no, I fucked up Detroit Become Human. People still come in and talk to me about that. Like, oh, so what did you think about Blank storyline? I'm like, who? And they're like, she's like a third of the story. I'm like, oh, she died like in the first scene I saw her. I'm like, what? Yeah, remember when that guy was punching her? Like, you can just not do anything and she dies, and that whole storyline is gone.
Zeke gets the best of both worlds. He gets the, oh man, I've never seen a streamer play it like this, which gets him all sorts of jazzed. And then he gets the other side too. I had no idea you could kill that person. How'd you manage that?
Sure. Yeah.
That's great. So we watched all the endings afterwards to see, like, you know, how it could shake out otherwise. Of course, there's like the good ending, the not so good ending, the this, that, the other thing. But there is one thing that I was sad that I missed because of the way I played through it. I couldn't get to the glitched scene. So we watched it. And if you haven't seen it in a while, do yourself a favor and watch the Sean glitch on YouTube. Just find it somewhere.
Oh, is that where the button becomes Sean and he says that for the rest of the game? Or
you
whatever?
can do it throughout the entire last sequence of the game.
Yeah.
So you're sitting there and you're just like, Sean, 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 and you're talking to the bad guy, and the bad guy's like, oh, you think you figured it all out. Good job, Sean. And you're just yelling at him, like in his face. That. You grab your kid who's you're like, you saved him. You saved your child, Sean. And you're just screaming in his ear, Sean. And then there's a chase sequence that you're not in. And you hear him in the background. Dude, do yourself a favor and watch it.
I think I saw that at one of the GDCs. I think they showed that off or something like that. Yeah.
I hadn't seen that in so long, and it's so worth it. It's so worth a rewatch. I was in tears. I had to bring Katie in here to watch it because fuck, man. That was one of the funniest. I forgot how fucking funny it was.
Yeah, it's good shit.
One of the best glitches.
It's a really good bug.
But yeah, if you haven't I was gonna say it's $1.99. It's not. Spring sale's over. But man, was it worth my $2? Holy shit!
Yeah, for $2, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy for.
It's not. It's actually not that much.
It's probably like 10 or 15, right? Full price.
$20.
Okay.
I'd say it's worth $20 too.
Yeah, it's not the worst game.
No, it's a well done game, and it's it's got a remaster now, or I mean, Steam remastered it, so to speak.
Right.
And as long as you don't, as long as you use an Xbox controller, not the stupid fucking motion controls, you'll have a much better time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The two of you finally joined me on R.E.P.O this past week. We played 2 sessions of R.E.P.O. We tried to get Dan in there, but he was busy doing something. Dan, did you talk about what you were doing, by the way? Have you spoken about that?
Oh no, I was at the car dealership trading in my Ford Mach-E for another electric car.
Nice. Well, congrats on the new car.
Have you talked about what you've gotten?
It's a BMW i5. It's a fully electric car. It's absolutely amazing.
Nice.
Very nice.
Fantastic.
I have to talk to you about that. I've been looking at that.
Well, we would have loved to have you, but I'm glad you also got your new BMW, Dan. We played some R.E.P.O. I talked about it last week. Co and Zeke, I'm curious. Did you guys like it? Did you have fun? It felt
time.
like you guys had a good time when we were playing. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. Freaking awesome.
I even tried it solo.
Yeah?
And that was, it was pretty fun solo. And then I played it with Katie, like off stream. We were just like, you want to play this game with me? Let's see how we can do. And we had a good time playing it. But I will tell you this, man, the monsters are designed to be cheap and have like instant kills. So the game is designed to have like at least 4 or 5, 6 people, right? Because so many times, like your run will die in the first 5 minutes because you're like, I open a door. There's the blind guy. Dead.
Yeah. It'll just one tap you.
And there's no warning, no nothing. So like it is very much designed to have more than one person.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Naomi, who joined us on the second day, she was playing solo as well and had similar experiences. It's a completely different style of game. Granted, when she was playing with the 3 of us, she was also playing solo because we would die. She would have to carry us to some sort of victory. But yeah, it is a very different game. And unfortunately, there's no like matchmaking. So kind of like what we said last week, the best way to, I think, find groups is to go to their Discord or like use Steam groups or something. And that's kind of hit or miss. Most likely miss with finding 5 other like-minded individuals. But hell of a game. Really pushing the like, I guess, party. What would you guys call this? The lethal company likes forward? I got
Lethal likes.
lethal likes. Yeah. I guess this is one of those. And it's pushing that genre forward and doing all the right things. Kind of has a good groundwork for everything that those games need in it and should have in them for a maximum amount of fun. And these devs seem pretty competent in terms of upgrading it. And I think they had already pushed a couple updates by the time we even played with new things that you could collect. So it's a good time. I'm glad you guys were able to jump in and play a bunch. I'm sure we'll probably play more. I think Gassy does like weekly events with this and like Lethal Company and all the lethal likes that are out there. It's always a fun time just to jump in with new folk and new personalities that you haven't ever interacted with.
Oh, and if you guys ever want to jump in again, I'm down.
Yeah.
I had a blast.
We got a busy couple of, I think like next 2 weeks, we got nonstop games for everyone. So,
Oh, sure.
yeah. Probably after that. What else? Anything else? Co, I know you were playing Rise of the Ronin. You brought it up a couple times. We talked about it when you played it on.
Yeah, I don't really
PlayStation,
have
right?
anything new to talk about it. The PC port has been fine. I should say it's fine for me. It's had some pretty significant performance issues. There's supposed to be a big patch coming out next Tuesday,
Okay.
which hopefully addresses some of that and gets it back in order. But no, I've been loving it. Been having a great time with it. It's basically like it's a Neo 3 kind of in spirit, and yeah, I love it, man. Still pretty bummed that it had such a poor release due to timing and everything, but
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and then all the performance issues with it as well. That I think you're just like brute forcing in terms of the power of your PC, right? Like you don't have those performance issues. Yeah. Okay.
Yep, that's right.
What else was there? I don't think, Dan, for you, anything else, or Zeke, for you
Yeah, on
guys?
Sunday I played a game that's sweeping through the horror genre people called Order 13.
Oh yes,
It's the premise of the game is you wake up, you're in a warehouse, like an Amazon warehouse. You live there.
Play
you
the
can't
demo.
leave the bathroom. And you're in like this little apartment room that's also your work room, and it's just you and a cat, and you have to take care of the cat by doing your job to earn money to buy it, treats and stuff to make it happy. And when you go out into the warehouse, its health ticks down. So it's kind of like a timer. So you got to like try to balance keeping it alive and completing objectives and then finding items in this warehouse to bring back to ship out. Now, the catch is out there in that warehouse are things that want to kill you because it's a horror game. So you got to sneak around and try not to let it get you. But overall, it was a pretty fun little game for a while, but until you figure out the monster doesn't really change much across the game, it's kind of gonna get used to it. But it's a fun little game for a little while there. It's I think it's like $5 on Steam. Let me
Yeah, I
double
don't
check.
think it's much. How
$8, $8.09.
how like
I would
deep
say it's worth $8. Yeah.
how deep did you go in the facilities? I guess is what I
Oh,
will
I
ask.
beat it. I got all at the
Oh,
bottom.
you beat it. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, small spoiler: the monster in the later floors is the same as the first floor, so that's kind of disappointing. So you
Yeah.
get used to it. But overall, it's a fun little game if you like to pretend like you're running a little shop, take care of a little cat, like put all your disposable income towards a cat, like good cat owners do. So it was fun. I enjoyed it. It was a fun little 8-hour experience. It was like, I mean, sorry, $8 2-hour experience. I would say you can get 3 if you're slower, but the 2 to 3 hours is like most people's playthrough of it.
Right. Yep.
I had
Oh,
fun
really?
with it.
So like the demo was like most of the game then?
Yeah. Like when
Okay.
you get to lower levels, you get so fast at doing the objectives that it's like there's not much progression there. Like you rush through the other
Okay.
levels very fast. But overall,
I played the demo of it and I enjoyed it, like you said. But I was like, okay, maybe the main game when it comes out it'll have like more shit. But apparently not so much.
now that demo was most of the game. So if you were happy with
Okay.
that playthrough, you're not going to get much more out of the paid game.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. More you know.
It's called Order.
I played a game.
Yeah.
I played a game that I would like to talk to Dan about.
Oh yes.
I played a game that I heard that you have played all of the prequels or whatever they're called. And I want to know why you played those games. I played a new game on Indie Day called Poop Killer Flush or Die.
Oh, the classics that are the poop killer. Yes.
You played
are-
all of them, Dan? How many are there?
There are 9 of them, and I have
Oh
played.
my fucking God, what?
Each one is about 30 minutes long, so they're not very long.
Okay.
A couple of them are a
Okay.
little bit longer, but basic premise is poop killer is if someone takes a poop and they don't flush,
Yep.
poop killer comes and he kills you with poop.
Yep.
Because that's what you
Yep.
deserve as the person doesn't flush.
Apparently.
And so premise of the game, you go through that, and then it's all about different people that have that happen to them and their experiences.
Welcome
what
back,
did you
Co.
think?
We're talking about Poop Killer Flush or Die.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry,
what
I
did
just
you
I had one of those moments, those dad moments. Just had to go set up push to talk so my kid could play Fortnite with his friends. He's so old.
It happens. It happens.
Oh man.
Get him to play Poop Killer Flush or Die. There's not.
I will. I was
No,
just thinking maybe
no.
maybe I can get his whole friends group to play Poop Killer 69 or whatever it's called.
No, there's 9 of
No.
them. There's 9.
Oh, even
of these
better.
games.
Great.
Yeah.
Super.
Yeah. Yeah. Dan's played them all.
No, it was terrible. It was awful. Like I wanna like this. I wanna be like, this was funny, hilarious. It wasn't. And the reason why I can't believe I was disappointed in this game. I can't
I was
believe
gonna say this is weird to hear.
I know. I was expecting toilet humor and all this shit.
I see what you did there.
Oh, I
the
haven't
first,
played Flush or
like-
Die. I haven't played this one. This is the one I haven't played.
Yeah,
Oh.
this is brand new.
Don't watch
Brand new.
spoilers.
This one came out the 12th of March.
Hmm.
So the first, like, it seemed like I played it for, I expected to go to see my playtime at like 3 hours. It was 49 minutes. I played this for 49 minutes. And for the first 25, probably even more than that, for the first 30 minutes of the game, nothing to do with poop or bathroom humor or nothing. You were just in a house with Queso, literally voiced by Queso.
Oh, this is
And-
the Queso game. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Voiced by Queso and other people whom I don't know if they're other content creators. But you're in a house with him and apparently you deal weed in New York in the 1980s out of this house. So the first 35 minutes of the game is just you being a weed dealer. people come to the door, you have to wait for them to come to your door. They come to your door, you go get the weed, you give it to them, they give you money, and then you do that a couple of times. They have some bants in between where they're like, oh, let's get a pizza. Yeah, that sounds dope. And I swear to God, the bro count, the number of times they say the word bro in this game has to be in the thousands. It is ridiculous.
Fantastic.
Bro this, bro. Everybody's broing it up. So you go down, get the pizza, bring it back up. Guess what you do after that? You smoke weed with them, of course.
Hell yeah.
And then you all pass out for a little while.
Okay.
And then you get back up, you sell a little bit more weed until someone that wants to buy weed from you poops in your toilet and doesn't flush. And then you get to face the poop killer.
Only then.
Also,
You've earned
by the way,
privilege.
there's a couple of randomly there's like a couple of random gory parts. One of the parts is you go to a rival drug dealer's apartment and you shoot everybody there.
Okay.
And you steal their weed and you leave. And there's a guy, Queso is with you.
Okay.
And he's supposed to come in. He falls asleep immediately. He doesn't help you shoot all these guys. You hear him snoring. You're like, what the fuck? And then you're out in the hallway and this one of the rival drug dealers is just coming home. And you see his head split apart and brains and blood just fly out of it because Queso has woken up and decided to shoot him in the face with a shotgun for no reason. They just wanted some gore in there, just thrown in.
Fun.
I've talked about it longer than I ever want to think about it again. So we can switch games now. We can absolutely stop putting it on the screen.
That's
stop talking about it. It was terrible.
That's poop killer, flush or die. Dan?
I have not played this one. So the other games, within about 10 minutes, you go from they get into the shit much quicker. So you like you do some like little job, you're working in a video store, and then somehow, some way, someone ends up pooping and not flushing.
Okay.
And then poop killer comes, and then he haunts you for a little bit, and then you do one of 3 endings. Every poop killer has 3 endings, and you go through, and each ending is ridiculous and insane. This one sounded really bad. I'm worried about that one though. But the other ones are like all 3 endings.
Do you think that you're describing good games when you describe the other ones that I haven't played?
No,
it doesn't sound like it.
I'm describing the best games ever known as Poop Killer. It's like the greatest horror indie games ever made where the main character is made of poop.
Dan, I knew I liked you. I know it was fam. How do you feel about Rat Shaker, Dan? By the way, are you into Rat Shaker?
Oh, I haven't played that, but you described it to me last time I was on.
Okay, yeah, good.
Zeke said it was the best game he's ever played, and I should totally play that one.
Yep, definitely should.
Don't you put that evil on me, Dan. Don't you put that evil on me. Okay, we talked about a bad game, but there is one game I do want to talk about from Indie Day.
Okay.
That was good.
Let's hear it.
It's called Look Outside. It was the first game I played that day.
All right.
Now, Look Outside, on the surface, it's an RPG Maker game. Like, you can tell it's RPG Maker. There's certain, okay, if you get into this game, just remember, if you're not familiar with RPG Maker games, press F4, not Alt F4, but press F4 to full screen. Because that's apparently an RPG Maker thing, because I couldn't figure out how to full screen the fucking game. But first thing, press F4. Okay, then you get full screen. Now, this game was actually really eerie, and for an RPG Maker, it's hard to be immersive, but it really did a good job. The premise of the game is it's set in a single apartment building. A mysterious event turns anyone who looks out the window into grotesque monsters, leaving the world in absolute chaos. So you're confined to this apartment building. You have to scavenge the building to seek food, supplies, weapons, while encountering strange creatures. So the really cool part of this game is it's very surreal. Like, your first taste of the game is how you save it is you talk to your neighbor who's just peeking at you through a crack in the wall, so all you see is your neighbor's eyeball. And how they explain it is you tell them how your day went, and that's how you save it. It's like, this is what happened. And then they'll say something to you like, oh, that sounds horrible, blah, blah, blah. You're like, yes, it was horrible. Thank you. And then you save the game. But it's got all kinds of like, it's pixel graphics, but they do a very good job of like doing like the Cronenberg stuff, like the body horror, like an eyeball here, a mouth here, a tentacle coming out here, and show you that, make it look very creepy. And there were parts of the game like little confined apartment rooms or apartments where there's like a little confined story in there. Like you walk into one of these apartments in the early game, and you talk to the first person you see in there, and they tell you this story about how the baby sister was exposed to whatever's going on outside, and then she got really bitey, and she started biting mom and biting dad and brother, blah, 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 blah. And then you go from room to room and you find out like what exactly happened to them. And it was like, and the way, like the writing of it, because it's not voice acted, it's all just, you know, text.
Yeah.
But the writing of it was really like eerie and creepy. It's like, oh, she didn't mean to do it. She was just a little baby. She just got really bitey and she bit me a little bit. And then I spawned an eyeball right here. It's no big deal. And then you go find mom and she has a different story. And then you go find brother and he has a different story. And it's all contained in this one little apartment room. And then you get all the story elements. You fight or not these other creatures and stuff like that. And you come out with like some items, some, you know, upgrades or whatever. And it just like the way it was presented was really cool. And it made you feel like, because you're locked in this apartment building, like, so it makes you feel like kind of isolated, you know? And they give you a timer at the very beginning of it of 15 days. For some reason, someone knows that 15 days from now, you can go outside again. So you have to survive and waste time for 15 days. So like you can not only can you explore to waste time, but you can actually find video games and you sit on your ass. It's like you wasted 2 hours playing this video game. Good job. You're tired now. Because you can't just go to sleep and refresh anytime. You have to do stuff in order to get to the end of the day so you can sleep and refresh. So like you have to find stuff to do. You can't just, you know, heal at any time. But one thing, my hugest complaint about this, that's me, that's the main character. And you brush your teeth. Oh, they have stats in this game that I still haven't found out what they do. They have like a hygiene stat. They have like calm stat that I looked at. There's a status screen, but none of those are represented. So they're hidden numbers somewhere. No idea. But I think they give you little indications as you go. It's like, hey, you had a nice nap just now. Your breath is starting to stink though. And you're like, oh, okay. I guess I'll go brush my teeth. Okay, sure. But you can, like, I won't spoil it for you, but you can look outside if you want. To see like what's going on. I wouldn't recommend it, but you can. But yeah, it's just a well planned out. Oh, that's right. The one thing that I hate, and I hate this, there's a list of probably like my top 10 most hated things in video games, and this is probably like at least number 4, if not number 3. Weapon durability. Oh my god.
Oh no, not weapon durability. That's, you hate it.
I hate it. No, it's pretty bad. Like you do find weapons here and there, but honestly, like you get a good weapon and you just hate it. You hate that you found a good weapon because you know it's just gonna fucking break. You're just like, okay, I'm gonna use this good weapon for like 3 monsters or 5 or whatever, and then it's just gonna break. Then you're back to using the mop stick. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I hate that. But I'm sure there's a fucking reason why they do it. I just want them to know, like, please stop doing that.
Did you happen to beat the whole game or just play part of it?
I did not. No. I played it for a little less than 2 hours, but it's definitely something I could see myself going back and exploring more of, because there was like I said, there's the little contained stories in that story I was talking about with the family. Like, there's a part at the end that actually made me like sad, like real sad. And it was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. What a fucking bummer. You know, he
Did they
tells
give
you
you a
this
copy of
awful
Poop
story.
too?
Yeah, he used it. God, he badgered me into getting to playing Poop Killer 1 through 9. And it made me so sad.
Yeah. Or
But yeah,
rat,
no, they,
or rat
like,
shaker.
yeah.
Yeah. Either or.
Yeah. But I wanted to get this game, like, talk about this game today because I really enjoyed it. I think it's, I only played 2 hours of it, so I don't know how it like shakes out or if it gets better or worse as it goes. But like the time I spent with it was surprising, not only in the immersiveness of it, but the fact that it's RPG Maker, and they did such a good job with it.
Yeah. Yeah. It really shows the wide breadth of games that can come from that. Because I wouldn't have known that had you not told me. So
yeah.
Yeah.
One other thing, probably top 3 in my most hated things in video games.
Oh.
Ticking clocks. Please give me a way to turn that off or break the clock or something. Please don't put it in the main hub that I have to go back to. It's in my apartment. There is this loud ass tick, 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 tick clock. And for some people, it's like, I find that soothing. No, I find that it makes me anxious and I want to tear the wallpaper off the walls and eat it.
I get the same thing with heartbeats in games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Which I'm funny enough, in Atomfall, they use a reverse stamina process where when you're sprinting and running around in Atomfall, your heart rate goes up instead of your stamina bar goes down. If your heart rate gets high enough and you start getting a vignette around the screen and you start like
Oh.
the entire time as you get close to that limit, the heartbeat goes so it's like pumping in your ears. It's just like, how do I turn this off? Oh my God.
That's a yikes
that and
for
heavy
me.
breathing. I hate hearing breathing in games. People struggling to breathe. Like
In Assassin's Creed, there's a lot of that. When you're sprinting in Assassin's Creed, your character's like,
I hate that. Oh.
it's really loud.
I hate when bosses have to repeat the same speech over and over and over again as you're going through the fight,
Oh, yeah.
trying it.
True.
That's that one.
That's a bad
Big
one.
time.
That's a bad
Oh
one.
my God.
Yeah.
That's probably in my top 2 is make all cut scenes skippable. Everything. Make it skippable.
Yep.
You don't have to. Just make it a fucking option.
Fantastic. Well, now that we've got all that out of our system, that's our show. Next week, I don't know what the plans are, but we're gonna have another show. We have a lot of games to talk about.
I will be here.
Oh, Co's out. Are you, so you
I
were
will
actually
be
going to Disney? That was not a thing. You said you were going to Disney earlier.
That wasn't a bit.
That wasn't a bit.
No, it's not a bit. No,
I
I'm
thought that
going
was
to Disney.
a bit.
No. I'm gone. I think I'm gone Saturday for a week. So I will be gone. I should be back for the week show after that.
Okay, so
Well, I say that, but I'll be getting home and have like 50,000 games to play. So I don't know.
Yeah, so you're out the 30th, and then the 6th you should be back. We'll touch base. Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
You
What
don't
comes
want to
out
come
that
on the
week, by the
show.
way?
You don't. Well, the Switch 2 gets fully announced. Co, your favorite hardware machine. Yeah,
Hey, if they can get me Xenoblade Chronicles X660, it will be my favorite machine.
yeah. That they're having their Nintendo Direct for the Switch 2 on April the 2nd at 6 a.m. Pacific.
Okay.
So
Cool.
Yeah.
Are there any game releases that week?
I need to look at the thing. I think Path of Exile is out that week. The PoE 2 thing, maybe, because they're doing the thing this coming week. South of Midnight on the 8th of April.
I'm back by then.
Inzoi goes into early access on the 28th of March. I know you're big on that.
I might check it out. We'll see. I've never played a Sims game, so
Yeah.
see how it is.
Not any, like, those are the really big releases. April 4th is the Path of Exile 2 Dawn of the Hunt early access patch 0.2 stuff. But yeah.
April 4th. I've been on Twitch for 12 years on April 4th.
Yikes. Too much, man.
Yikes.
Too much. We're all over that now, I think. 12 Dan, you just crossed 15, I think. 14?
Yeah, it'll be 16 in August.
Oh. Yeah, I
But
did.
I'm playing catch up.
I did 14 2 weeks ago or something like that. But
I've been streaming the least out of all of us. Damn.
You and Zeke I think started around the same time, no?
I started on JTV, but yeah, I wasn't gaming.
Okay. All right.
But I started live streaming. Yeah, and Justin.
Yeah. Cool. All right, let's do some shout outs and call it a show. We'll figure out a show for next week. Co won't be here, but me and Zeke will be here, and we'll grab some guests and talk about all the games that are coming out this week.
Maybe I could bring Mickey.
Yeah, invite him on.
Mickey on, or Goofy.
I would prefer Donald, the strongest mage in the Final Fantasy.
That's fair.
That's
World.
true.
Yeah.
True.
I've heard.
Yeah,
Maybe we could have him find us some ingredients.
Ooh. We could.
We'll have him jump on the Hydra's back and ride it on over here.
That'd be awesome, too.
I will.
That'd be awesome,
Great.
too. Oh, boy. Zeke, do some shout outs.
What's up? What's up, everybody? Thank you, DansGaming, for joining us today. Always a pleasure to see you, my friend. I'm glad you're still kicking ass and taking names, and I hope you enjoy your new vehicle.
Hell yeah.
Thank you to Co and JP as well for being my co-host. My name is Ezekiel the Third. I am @/ Ezekiel_III on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, and Ezekiel the Third all spelled out on Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky if you do. What am I doing? Well, I am actually directly after the show. I am not streaming, but I am going to put a poll up on my social medias, on my X account of what game shall I start on Tuesday? Because I am not going to probably be playing any of the new games that are coming out, except maybe Karma the Dark World on the 27th, but we'll see. But I am going to start another older game, and those games that you have to choose from are Metal Gear Solid 5, LA Noire, or Mafia. None of which I played.
Mafia 1?
So, yeah,
Oh,
I've not played a single game.
LA
Any of
Noire
those
is one of my
games.
favorite games of all time.
I've heard
Yeah,
things about all three of
you
these
will love
games.
it.
So.
I think you'll like LA Noire. I think yeah, that should win.
Okay.
We're going to influence the vote.
But there's a lot of people who fall on all three of those games. So I will put that up directly after Drop Frames. You know what? I'll just put it up right now. Here we go. Boop. It has been posted on my Twitter, and I will pin it to my Twitter page. So go vote if you want to see what I'm going to be playing on Tuesday. But I take Mondays off, so nothing tomorrow. That's it. Thank you for watching. See you next time.
Fantastic. Co, do some shout outs.
Sure. As always, big thank you to JP and Zeke. And of course, a big thank you to Dan Esquire Gaming for his awesomeness. Always a pleasure having you here. My name is Co. Hi. This week is going to be a lot of streaming. We've got, I don't know what, probably Rise of the Ronin tomorrow morning, but then around 11, I think we're going to be doing Berserker for a little bit. After that, we're probably going to start Atomfall. I haven't yet decided how we're going to do Berserker and Atomfall. I may just play Atomfall until I leave for Disney, and maybe like actually try to finish that game before I go to Disney, and then we can do Berserker when I get back. But I don't know yet. We'll see. We're gonna figure it all out together. It'll be fun. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this week. I won't see you next week, but probably the week after that, and we've got a ton of games coming up. So hope to see you.
Fantastic. Have fun at Disney. I'm jealous, like legitimately. Are you West or East Coast? Have you said?
Oh, Disney World.
Help me again. West or East
Florida.
Coast? Which
Okay,
one?
so get this. Ready for this? Disney World, ORL, Orlando. Disneyland,
Yeah.
LA, California.
I've heard all the tricks.
Yeah. Just remember World Orlando. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. That's the better one. Good luck. You're gonna have a lot
Yeah,
of fun.
that's what I'm hoping. It's going to be interesting though, because we're going during spring break, so we'll see how it goes.
Waiting for stuff is gonna suck. But honestly, you want to go to Disney when it's busy. I think that heightens the experience.
You know, I mean, we're going for the kids.
Yeah.
So that's.
Yeah. I went on Thanksgiving Day, which is the busiest day of Disney apparently every year. So.
Ooh.
It was a nightmare. I had a 5-hour wait for the Avatar
Apparently they're opening up a new thing or next year, I think. So apparently a lot of people are going to that. They're opening up like a new part of the park or something.
ride.
I don't know the details, but I know it's not going to be open when we get there. So we're hoping that helps with the stuff a little bit. We'll see.
Yeah, keeps it down. Dan, do some shout outs. I didn't forget you. Don't worry about it. We're good.
Oh, don't worry. Another way to remember is Disney World starts with a W. W means west, which it is not. It's in the east. There you go. All right, guys. I'm DansGaming, Twitch streamer. Thanks for having me on the show, guys. It's always a pleasure to be on Drop Frames. I'll be playing Assassin's Creed Shadows this week, the first Berserker. Tomorrow I'll be playing Schedule 1, which where you run a drug empire. It'll be a lot of fun. And also Atomfall as well. So it's going to be a busy week. Should be a lot of fun. Thanks for having me on the show. And I love talking to you guys. You guys are my favorite people.
Oh, thank you, Dan. That's very kind of you to say. We know you're lying.
Right
though.
back to you, sir.
No, we know it's a lie.
Lie to us, baby.
Lie to us all day. All
It's
day.
okay.
Thank you all so much for watching Drop Frames. We will be back next week. At least me and Zeke will. We'll find out who else we're going to have on and let you guys know as soon as we know. But for now, we're out. Thank you so much. VOD will be up over at youtube.com/itmeJP if you want to watch it there or on podcast, wherever, as Conan says, fine podcasts are available. We're out. Have a good one. Bye-bye.